Alright. Yo, 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 yo. What is up? Yeah, True. Yeah. I know it's been a hot sec since we've done any content whatsoever, but honestly, making videos and editing videos is just so time consuming after I get home from work and I don't have the energy to do it. So what we're gonna try and do is at least like emphasis on the word try. We'll just stream a little bit more, and then I'll just take like the clips, like video segments from the stream, and just make that into the video. I think that'll like suffice, because editing, we don't got time for that kind of shit anymore, bro. I'm old. But yeah, you know, everyone that's here right now, I appreciate it. Thank you all so much for coming out. And I hope we have a good stream. But yeah, honestly, I'm kind of down to just talk about whatever. And really, I'm just really excited for Nationals format. I actually have really enjoyed EX5. Not gonna lie, I've really enjoyed EX5. I know a lot of people don't look forward to it because it's like purple format and everything like that, but I've actually thoroughly enjoyed this format. And I'm sure I won't say that in like a few months' time, but as of right now, a month or two of testing, I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. And like, yeah, you know, purple decks go crazy. Doggo format, Melga, Anubis, yeah, they're really strong. But I feel like there's like a fair amount of decks that can also do, you know, pretty well into them. So I think it's fine. But yeah, so really just here to kick it back with everyone, just relax. I don't know how long I'll stream for, maybe like an hour or two, but for the time being, we'll just enjoy ourselves. Let me see if I can raise the music a tad. Okay. But yeah, so, and then also, of course, there is BT15 as well. And with BT15 coming out, BT15 is very interesting in the sense that the amount of meta decks we got were not super abundant. Like, Melga is really good. Melga is good. Leviamon is good. Machine is good. But a lot of the decks kind of just like, you play into Apocalymon and you're just like, And I really do think Apocalymon is like a really problematic card, to be honest with everyone. I think Apocalymon is a really badly designed card. And I think because of Apocalymon, it kind of stifles a lot of other decks in the format that could be good. Like, I think it's impossible to play MachineDramon, even though MachineDramon is a good deck. You can't play MachineDramon because of Apocalymon, because that's like a GG Go Next matchup. Like, you just can't win it. Unless you like hit like very like they're like super slow in the up like the go around, and then you hit very specific pieces, and like maybe then, but on average you're probably getting rolled. And just other like slow control decks I don't think can ever like thrive while Apocalymon is in the format, so kind of sucks. Top 5 Digimon you want to see in the Digimon TCG that have not made an appearance yet: Tyrant Kabuterimon for sure, Tiger Vespamon. Those are like two like really big ones for me personally. Who else hasn't made an appearance in the TCG yet? Honestly, that's a I actually don't know who else hasn't been in the TCG. Let me think about that. Barbramon, right? So finish out our seven deadly demon lords. 2 more Digimon? Who else are we lacking? Damn. I mean, like, I would say Fanbymon, but that like falls into the same vein as Tiger Vespamon, I guess. Ooh, Burpmon. I think Burpmon would be really cool. If we got a Burpmon deck that just turns everything else into a Burpmon, that'd be pretty sick. And last Digimon that I want added to the game. Like, I'm like going through my brain right now. I'm trying to think, who do we not have yet? Because I feel like the TCG's done a really great job covering everyone so far. Oh, Jupitermon. I would love to see Jupitermon. Let's see. Myotismon stream win? I just don't... with Tessero streams, I'll link Tessero stream. But I am not a Myotismon player. I don't even know if this card is good, frankly. Let's see. Apoclymon's too generic. I don't even think it's the fact that it's generic. It just does way too much for way too little. And it's very difficult to play around. Like, it kind of just... If it gets to the win con, it gets to the win con. There's not a lot you can do. How long's the stream been up? Not even like 10... Not even 5 minutes, I don't think. Looking more so at the end of turn to place 1 level 6 or lower anything? I mean, yeah... Yeah, but really, I think the biggest thing is, like, you copy, like, Belphamon, or you copy Craniamon, and you just can't interact with it, and it mills you for 10, and then it's going to mill you again for another 10, and then there's another Apocalymon they're going to drop, so that you get milled for 30 between both turns, and it's just like, go, you know, whoop. Also, subcross. Yeah, dude, Paramon would be sick, for sure. Let's see... Is voice chat open? At the current moment, no, unfortunately. Voice chat is not currently open, but yeah. So I think all in all, BG like Apocalymon design is probably the biggest fumble I would say the new developers have had, because like they made Garu X, and Garu X was a mistake, TBH. I think Garu X was really badly... It was not very well designed. Way too generic, way too good. And then they made Apocalymon, and then somehow Apocalymon a bigger design fumble than Garu X is. It's kind of impressive. Oh, I didn't even realize I was in lobby. Whoops. My bad. But yeah, it's just Apoc. It just feels so, like, really poorly designed. Yeah, like if it didn't mill, sure, but then like what's the win con there? Like there is no win con, you know? Like it's just gonna like clobber your face in. That's not very good. Like the mill win con in itself, I don't think is the issue. I think the issue is it mills way too much for way too little of a cost. And I think that's the issue. Because, like, even if you, say, copied Craniamon effect or copied Belphamon effect, if you're not on a timer, you know, by turn 3, then I think it's fine, right? I think it would be fine. But the reality is, it does put you on a timer by turn 3, so it just sucks. And then they also made Melga really good, because now Melga has evade, so Melga has a new defensive tool to work with, and that's just kind of gross. But I digress. Yeah, like BT15, like it has a couple of good decks, but then like everything just feels like minute into Apoc. Like I think Melga can win against Apoc, and that's fine. I don't think Apoc is going to be BDIF or anything like that. I don't think Apoc will be best deck in the format, but I think gatekeeping 1/3 of the format is really badly designed. Do I offer coaching? Yeah, dude. When are you coaching me in One Piece, brother? Let's see. Waiting for inheritables that win you the game if you trash and have 0 cards in deck. That'd be wild. Then I feel like Bandai's Digimon team just makes cards that look good and then see if it's actually good when released. Well, Bandai has a testing team. We know Bandai has a testing team, right? Like I've only heard of one card game company that didn't have a testing team at one point, and that was Vanguard. because I think Chaos Breaker got leaked at one point from one of the testers. They axed their testing team, and yeah, that's the only like instance of a card game not having a testing. But other than that, like there are testers for Digimon, I would imagine, right? So at what point were they like playing Apocalymon and they were like, oh man, like this is fine, like ship it, you know, like A-OK Apocalymon, it's good, check mark. Who did that? Who? Man, so dumb. If you reuse the level 6 sources and bottom deck the 6s like Fanglong, it'd be okay. I just think there's a lot of like things wrong with this. Defensives is surely better than OTK Garuru being supported more, right? I mean they're both really good, TBH. They're both very good. Do you offer coaching? Yeah, bro, when you coaching me One Piece? Huh, Cross? What's up? Let's see. Can't believe the only card I'm excited for is Rose X. Yeah, Rose X is a really cool design card. Too bad because of Apocalymon in the format, you can't play it. Very, very nice. Good job. Thank you, Digika. Same person who approved the starter deck wore Garurumon printing without checking. That's definitely a separate department, which is crazy, because then you have 2 departments fumbling the bag. That's fucking crazy. Sounds like you need to quit your streaming career and become a Digimon TCG playtester if Bandai ever... Well, first of all, I don't have a streaming career, because that implies I stream more than, like, once in a blue moon, right? But second of all, if Bandai ever threw me, like, a legitimate offer, and, like, with a decent salary, maybe. But right now, we are on the career grind, so we'll see. Do you think we'll have a ban list at least sometimes before Nats? Yeah, probably. I'd be very surprised if we don't have a ban list before Nats. I think Shine is going to get hit. I think Mirage might get a preemptive hit for BT14. And they should hit Luga, but they won't hit Luga. That's my prediction. Also, yeah, if you're not subscribed to the Huang Zero channel, be sure to sub to the Huang Zero channel. Let's see. We should probably be thankful for Apoc. I'm so curious. Apoc is getting the axe. No way. There ain't no way that and Marcus live another list. Well, I mean, Apoc just came out, so he hasn't lived through a list. There has not been a list to live through yet. It seems like Bandai is also going for a sales approach. They're printing these broken cards to entice sales. It looks like BT15 is the only set I've heard to have lines waiting to buy the box. I mean, that's just any card game, right? Like every card game prints stupid stuff to like make their shit sell, right? Like if you look at like BT14 Lugamon is dumb as hell, you know? Like they definitely overtuned Lugamon to sell BT14, right? I think every card does this. Like you look at, you know, every time they print like a broken archetype, it's definitely to push sales. You know, like Tier Element, for example, in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then you have what One Piece currently OP5 is dominated by like purple Luffy and like Enel. They're always gonna like push, you know. It's I think it's more impressive when a new set comes out and the best deck is an older deck still somehow. I think that's more impressive. The ultimate test team for Bandai, Huang and Tasty. Ah, yeah, dude. I'm about to cook Tasty real hard. What cards in BT15 do you think will see zero play? Not just competitively, but you can't run it in any deck. I mean, I think with any card game, there's always going to be like just garbage fodder, right? Like some cards are like they read decently, but like they're never actually going to see play. I guess in a casual aspect, ever see play? It's a great question. I don't know. I feel like in casual play, you can really just make anything work if you try hard enough, TBH. If Apoc is so overwhelming that they have to hit Apoc itself, then we get to see other secret rares and sex starting to get hit. See, joke's on you, they would hit Garu X before they hit Apoc. Monka Christ. Garu X to 1 in general, and then my cope is eyes restricted from use in Apoc. Eismon is a lot slower, though, for Apoc. It's, like, significantly slower. Garu X being like, no, like, you don't interact with your opponent. It gives you a memory. It's Lady Devimon on crack. Like, it just does so much for no reason. I think if you force them to use the Eyes engine, that's probably like one great way to like to deal with it. But I guess BT14 Lugamon existing as the same set as Triceramon is hilarious. Yeah, no, Red got hoed that set for sure. What do you think they should do to limit nerf Apoc? I mean, they're not going to change the card text. TBH, they're not going to change the card text. It won't happen. And if they're not going to change the card text, then they have to hit something else, right? So like Garu X, I think is at some point going to be on the chopping block. I think that card's way too good. If they hit Belphemon or Craniamon, I would be very, very surprised. But I think that's another way you could hit the deck. I would just be very impressed because then you're hitting SRs. So I digress. And then you're also hurting decks that aren't Apoc. Like other decks shouldn't have to pay for the sins of Apoc, you know? Whereas Garu X, I mean, Garu X is an actual sinner, you know? So I digress. Yeah, Evo Garu, draw 1, trash 1, Evo Garu, oh no, Evo Garu, draw 1, trash 1, Evo Garu X draw 2, trash 2, for fun, hee X fucking D, dude, like, it's so gross, it's so dumb, and it gives you a memory back too. Actually infuriating. I just, but my Garu X deck, look, your Garu X deck will survive. You have an entirely different Garu X. I think people have been pitching the Dark Masters to 1, which is hilarious. I mean, that's just dumb. TBH. I think that's just outright stupid. But just overall, like, I wanted to, like, praise the new designers a lot. Like, I want to be on their side. I want to like them because, like, after the old designers made us suffer through BT9 and everything like that, I'm like, fuck y'all. Like, I hate y'all. Y'all ain't my homies anymore. They bring in these new guys, and I'm like, yeah, y'all my homies now. And then they go and print this dumb shit. I'm like, what happened? Did we not learn our mistakes? Like, what happened here? You know? Which I think is crazy. I think it's absolutely crazy. And just disclaimer for the record. I still really like Digimon. I think this game is great. This game hits like a certain level of dopamine that no other game mimics. Like, draw one for Evo, and then like you keep just drawing for fun. It feels so good. It feels so good. No other card game hits that same dopamine. But it makes me really sad when they're printing when they print designs like this crazy ass shit. You know, just I don't know. Not a super huge fan of it. But I think Bandai just on general has been smoking like a ton, you know? I've not been a fan of like a lot of Bandai decisions recently. Card game decisions in general recently, I've just not been a fan of, right? Like, okay, so you look at One Piece, okay, cool. We're still in Red Piece somehow in OP04, and then OP05. I mean, everyone is just we just shifted from Red Piece to Purple Luffy Enel, right? Which I guess in itself is probably fine. It's not as bad as Red Piece was. I think I'd rather deal with that than Red Piece. But then again, like apparently, according to Twitter, everyone's saying OP05 is like 0 skill format. Like it's just absolutely piss. Battle Spirits is a dead game, frankly. Battle Spirits barely even caps half the attendance of like the total that it can do, which sucks because I like Battle Spirits. It's a fun game. It's just dead in the water. Like, it's interesting because if you know, we have sales data, so we can look at the top 25 products of a month, right? And Battle Spirits between set 1 and set 2 has not been in any of those sales charts. Digimon's reprint set was in top 25. That's crazy. The reprint set made it, but not Battle Spirits 1 or 2, which is absolutely bonkers to me. So I digress. I think Dark Masters of 2 is better, bro. I don't see a point in hitting the Dark Masters, frankly. I think just getting rid of the immunity and probably killing off the speed of the deck like fixes a lot of the issue. BT14 was amazing. EX5 was good, bar one card. The BT15 is making me question them. I like EX5 for the most part. It's just because like with EX5, at least I can play the game. I can't really play the game against Apoc unless I'm playing some Degen aggro deck, you know? Do you dislike anime screenshot for art for cards? I mean, yeah, I don't like them, but I imagine, like, after the set, we're done with them. I would assume. I would imagine. I have the sound off because I'm at work, but Supreme Connection, best card? True. This card is lit. They left the memory gauge in the dust? No, I think memory gauge still matters, for sure. But the most problematic cards are the cards that ignore the memory gauge. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's okay. Never mind, that's fair. Banning Garurumon X is just the easiest move. It really is. Garurumon X is just a problematic card, no matter how you cut it. Let's be honest. Has there ever been a TCG that was healthily balanced after a year of release? Probably not. But I also think that depends on like your definition of balance, because like balance can change for everyone. So, like I think Pokemon is probably the most balanced card game right now. But like I also don't know that much about Pokemon, so it's hard for me to like say that with full confidence. To be honest, the Garu engine has to be hit. They really need to hit Garu X to 1 to slow it down. It's crazy that they made a turbo engine for purple that goes into anything. I still am a firm believer that like we should really just like shoot everything to like 0. Like I wish they hit cards to 0 instead of like this 1. I think hitting stuff to 1 is like super annoying, frankly. But I guess. Let's see. Contrary to the hate on RB1, I enjoyed this set. I think RB1 is really good. I think RB1 is very good for the community. Having access to reprints for newer players is always a great thing. It's never a bad thing. I don't know why people are like upset, like, oh man, my cards aren't worth money. And then we have to go and make the fucking SRs worth like so much. And I'm like, shit, man. I can't build Jellymon without dropping 40. Like, fuck me. I wish those cards were cheaper, but I digress. Like, whoops, not that. Oh, it dropped. Nice. Maybe we picked it up. But yeah, I wish RB1 was unironically cheaper for the SRs, because my wallet hurts. But other than that, it's whatever. Let's see. I saw people complaining about reprints and that the set was bad. That the same people complain about prices on singles. Yeah, I mean, like, the fact that reprints are so cheap is good. We want more people to play the game. I don't know why we want to like gatekeep this. Like, fuck this finance bro shit, you know? People were mad about RB1 due to less than stellar pull rates on the GG stuff, and then they were mad because of the price gouging. That part I agree with. Yeah, I don't know why the Ghost Game stuff is in like such low like pull like rates, and I don't know why we're price gouging. Like, that's stupid. Feels like some people won't ever be happy. This is true. Some people just won't be. That is what it is. Most of the reprints weren't money anyway, besides Lilith and maybe at MachineDramon. No, you had stuff like Tai, right? Tai was like going for like 20 at one point, like just consistently, right? Let's see here. Reprint. Okay, so you have Zord Defeat. I think Zord Defeat was going for at least some change, right? I hate the fact that this is only $5. Like, why can't the rest of you be fucking $5? I guess. Let's see. Yeah, Tai and TK were worth money. This Metal Greymon was worth money. MachineDramon, of course. I think some of the Dummy Miramon was going for money, right? Let's see what else was there. Yeah, Lilithmon. Let's see. V-Tamer Tai was going for money. I know that for sure. Good for that. I think Upamon. I don't know if Upamon still was going for money, but for a hot sec, it was going for quite a bit. Let's see here. Is that it? Is that everything else? Yeah, I guess that's everything. Okay. But Huang, you're an adult. You now have a disposable income, bro. I spent my disposable income on my new apartment. So I get my big boy paycheck because I got a new job. I got my big boy paycheck this week. That hasn't kicked in yet, so I'm still reeling in from my apartment expenses. And then I also bought a Shadowverse Evolved deck because my homies want to play Shadowverse Evolved, and I have hella FOMO when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I bought a Shadowverse Evolved deck. What was the most you've ever spent for a non-alt art card? For me, it's Ancient Greymon back when it was 25 a pop. In Digimon? I don't know in Digimon, to be honest with you. I guess it would be Omnimon for $50 back when set 1 was out. It's probably that. Also, yeah, I really don't know why they just don't give you more Ghost Game stuff. That's kind of crazy to me. Starter Greymon, I think, went down in price at one point because they made it like a little bit more abundant. So, where's the Ghost Game promos money? Should be going down. What Shadowverse deck? I'm playing Havencraft with Heavenly Aegis because I was told it was MachineDramon, and if you don't know, I love MachineDramon. So I just, if I could play MachineDramon in a different card game, yeah, I'm gonna play fucking MachineDramon. There's just something appealing about telling my opponent like they can't play the game. It's very fun. And just a heads up, if you guys are interested in the link, if it works, I'll go ahead and post it as well. Huang Zero server, you know, if you want to play Digimon, talk Digimon, well, of course you're welcome. We also do have a Shadowverse Evolved thread as well. So if you want to play Shadowverse or you want to talk about Shadowverse, feel free to come swing by. Let me go ahead and drop a link to that because I'm sure you guys all want the coolest server. Death X is probably the most expensive non-alt I've ever bought and will ever have to buy. Yeah, thankfully I bought a case of BT9, so that wasn't too bad for me. I'm gonna play MachineDramon my free-for-all, and it's not gonna be fun for my opponents. Dude, MachineDramon is so fun. Like, I love MachineDramon. That's probably one of like the harder decks I've played in my Digimon career. That deck is not easy to pilot, like at a high level. It's like really, because like you have to know like every exact scenario and every matchup to like do specific things. It's really annoying. I hate the short print Ghost Game SRs, but I'm also salty there's only one rare per pack. Yeah, I don't know why they just didn't make it, like, why they just didn't give more in these packs. Like, I don't get it. I wish they did, and I'm kind of annoyed that they didn't, but alas. The Examon Death X combo telling people they don't get to play the game was still thrilling, even though I was the one getting hit by it. True. Shout out to Espimon, my goat, dude. That's my goat. Whoops, that's BT13. That's funny, because the only deck this is probably playable in is MachineDramon, but you don't even need it in MachineDramon, right? Because you have Tankmon, you have Jazzardmon, you have Sephirothmon, you just have like so many other like good fours. Like I don't see a reason why you would ever need to play this, unless we were to divert back into like Hard Slam Machine, which it doesn't happen on B215, so I digress. Not really a point. I guess it's not bad. It's not bad in MachineDramon, but it's whatever. I digress. And then like regular Espimon, this is actually pretty good. This is unironically a really good rookie. Not gonna lie. Also, if you want to play EX5, I would suggest picking up a few copies of Black Gato Uber. This card is really good in EX5 because it lets you snipe your opponent's Leviamon, so that way they can't bite and crush you. The deck that actually got me to love MachineDramon itself. I always liked him, but he was cereal-like. You like eating cereal, but you could live without it. Now I have to have MachineDramon in all of my Digimon games. Dude, MachineDramon is lit. Like I love MachineDramon. Let me see if I can do this. Hold up. Okay, so up here. Wait, let me see. Okay, wait, trying to like figure this out. Okay, over there, I have posters of Digimon, right? Like I have posters and stuff. I'm gonna go get MachineDramon printed at one point. At some point. Emphasis on the word some point. Let me fix my camera. There you go. It'll be cool once we get a black ace level 4. True. I don't know how significant it'll be, but yeah. Tentomon in his line will still always be my favorite. Dude, I love Tentomon. I have a very soft spot in my heart for Tentomon because I played a lot of green throughout BT1 through BT5. And Tentomon was always there for me. My goat, my boy, my homie. It's bait? Nah, dude, it's not bait. It's lit. It's lit. It doesn't hurt as a 1-up, Rusty. Come on, man. It's fine, bro. It's lit. Also, it's a dark animal, so in Lugamon you don't even give a shit. Because it just works in the game. Give us a Blast Ace Rookie. I don't even know how that would work. I feel like at that point it's just Genai. Have you seen the Omnimon figure that is modded to have MachineDramon heads for arms? No, I have not. I'd love to see it though. How is MachineDramon for regionals RBO1 meta? MachineDramon is not very good in BT13, to be very honest with you. So, and it doesn't receive anything in RBO1 that would change anything. So my answer, not very good. Which is sad, because I love MachineDramon, but that's like the honest truth. It's just, it's not very good right now. And the reason why it's not very good is it comes to like the weakness of like most black decks in Digimon, where it's like you have an answer for everything, but you have to answer everything, you know? So like you have to draw the specific answer for the specific matchup, and if you don't see that specific answer for that specific matchup, then like you lose the matchup and you just gotta go to next, right? And so like in EX4, well, this was fine because there wasn't that many like decks you had to like plan for, right? You could handle everything within like a small like toolbox, right? But then BT13, there's too much you have to handle, right? Between Royal Knights, Shine Greymon, Mirage, Bloom, like all these like, there's so many like good decks, right? It's just like, and you're not realistically going to play Shine like one deck for like 9 rounds. You're gonna get like a mixed bag, and so because you're gonna get a mixed bag, it's way too hard to play Machine. That's my theory on it. Come BT15, however, Machine is good again. But then you lose to Apoc, so like, what does it matter? Sad. Blast Ace level 5, not 4. True. Attach breeding to it, Kappa. Crazy that MachineDramon isn't good in the I'ma hit you with minus 20k DP deck. Yeah. Yeah, the issue with that is that if you up that card, then your other matchups just suffer a little too much. Because EX1 MachineDramon is not stellar in a lot of your other matchups. So unless you play Shine Greymon for 5 out of your 9 rounds, it just sucks. Let's see. What is your honest opinion of the speed of Digimon in the sense, do you think it's too fast, too slow? I think some decks are a little too fast. It's a very small handful of decks I think are way too fast. But other than those like small handful of decks, I think the game's pace is fine. For a game that's over 3 years old, I think for the most part the pace is fine. I think that decks that like fuck the curve entirely are Lugamon, Anubismon, Apoc, and probably BT15 Melga. I think are just like a little too fast for the game. Have you considered in BT13 just dropping Chaos X to up consistency? I think Chaos X is really important, to be honest with you. Like you could drop Chaos X to 1, like I think that's like okay. But Chaos X for certain matchups is just like way too valuable. Because it allows you to reproc your D-Digivolve, it allows you to just get extra layers to like have additional protection. There's just like a couple of matchups where like you need the Chaos X, and not having it just kind of hurts. Where's the World 2 stream? I have to get the PS1 emulator to work first. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. I personally think that outside of the top 3 meta decks of any format, the game is at a nice speed where you feel like you can do all your cool combos without dying by turn 2. Yeah, yeah. I think outside of like the decks I listed, I think the speed of the game is totally fine. I've been playing a lot of EX5, and like when I say a lot, I mean like a lot of EX5 these last few months, because like again I'm practicing for nationals, I want to be ready. And you do have like decks that are like slower pace that can like control the speed of the game, and I think those are great. Like Etemon, for example. I think Etemon is a really great example. Etemon is a very good deck. It's able to slow the pace of the game, and you can grind out your opponent like very well. So I think like saying the format's too fast, I mean like you have answers to it. Like you have Etemon, you have decks like Venus, you have decks like Levia, you have like slow burn decks. They exist. It's just a matter of like I guess wanting to play that and then like having a good enough matchup spread across the board to warrant that. Because when it comes to matchup spreads in Digimon, playing a slow burn deck means you're much more volatile to your matchup spreads than like a fast aggro deck. Because the fast aggro deck sometimes just beats your opponent to the ground before they can like matchup gap you. You know what I mean? Like sometimes a Anubismon will just establish lethal on board by turn 2 or 3 before your opponent can like establish their setup. You know. But I digress. Why is it always purple that's too fast? I don't know. I don't know. If you've noticed, it's always a dog. It's always a dog that's too fast, right? I'm just saying, it's always a dog. Where's the World 3 stream? Dude, World 3 is so bad to replay. I could... World 2 and World 3 are some of the worst games I've ever replayed. Because World 2, it's so tedious. Because you get a Digimon, you work hard for it, and then you send it into the DNA Digivolution chamber, and just brrr, that's it. And you rinse and repeat. And World 3, there is an insane amount of backtracking that I want to like break my fucking head into the table. I can't with the backtracking. If you cut down on all the backtracking in World 3, I'll play it gladly. There's way too much. Let's see. Where's Digimon World DS stream where you go into battle every 5 seconds? It takes 10 minutes to go through a zone. Yeah, Digimon greats aren't historically... Digimon games are not historically very good. Recover 1 every attack, maybe 2 or 3. I don't know about that one. Calm down. Purple wasn't too fast until Beelzemon. What are you talking about? This is true. It wasn't until Beelzemon that it was an issue. And Beelzemon set this like gross fucking precedent. Where's our cat decks? I mean, you had Mastemon. That's a catty. That's catty enough. World 4 stream? It is then. Dude, I'm kind of down for a World 4 stream. And that game sucked. It feels weird that we got like 20 dogs, but fuck all cat Digimon. Nah, dude, you have the entire Leomon deck in EX5. What do you mean? Literally a cat. Literal cat. Give the competitive Gamamon deck Copia? You have to ask Zero for that. I don't play Gamamon. That's not... I play Jellymon. I'm the Jellymon player. Zero is the Gamamon player. Talk to him if you want to know about that kind of shit. But I think he's out right now. He's like at a cafe or something like that. He got a ube latte. Very cool. World 3 is solved with any fast travel over shortcuts? Yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't know why we didn't implement fast traveling in World 3. One of the stupidest decisions they could have made. But whatever. I digress. Dude, yes, fast travel. Fast travel in World 3. Why didn't we do that, Bandai? Was it Bandai? Who made World 3? Wait a second. What company was responsible for World 3? Developed by BEC and Boom Corp, published by Bandai. What else? What other games did you publish? A lot of Gundam games. A lot of robot games. Oh my god. They were responsible for Next Order? Really? Y'all were able to implement fast travel in Next Order. I say fast travel with like loose, air quotes, but like, damn. I hate y'all. Alright, outside of BT1 and 5, what set would you say was the worst? In the sense that the set didn't add any new decks to the meta, and the support didn't do anything? BT8. Definitely BT8. BT8 was for sure the worst offender for like in terms of like the set with like the least or the worst support. Definitely BT8. Because BT8 format, the best decks in the format were fucking yellow and blue hybrid. Like, it's definitely BT8. I will also accept the Jelly deck. Jelly is cool. I haven't touched Jelly since Japanese BT13, unironically. Let me like cut that and put this in. So like this is like very outdated, very outdated. But it was something like this. We were just playing it as like source strip control deck, but I think in Shine Greymon format this doesn't work, unfortunately. Did they say Gundam card battler? I just. But Digimon card battle is sick though. Side note, that PS1 game is lit. Carrying Machine is bad for regionals. Guess it's back to Black War Greymon. Yeah, I would just play Black War Greymon if you wanna top a regionals. TBH. Black War Greymon is a much better deck. Too many dogs, cats, and monkeys. When is my man Monzaimon gonna be meta? I mean he gets pretty good support in this set. It's not like meta relevant support, but like it's pretty good. Like this is you know you got some good cards, got some good stuff. You know what games really need to add? Toggle fast run. My B button sticks in now for how long? I held that shit playing Next Order. Joke's on you. I played the original Next Order, so I didn't even have a fucking run button. Yeah, the BTA is a sick set. I agree. It is a cool set, but it is realistically the worst set we've had in terms of like adding new support that's relevant. So I digress. Also, yeah, I actually do really like Digimon Emperor. It's probably one of my favorite techs. What do you think about security attack plug and jelly? I mean, yeah, go for it. I think you can definitely get away with it. I like shoving security plug into random bullshit. They never expect it. Like I did in Etemon. Wait, how do you get more deck slots on card def? I don't know. I went. All right, I made a deck, type in the name, and hit save, and that's all I did. RB1 Gamamon, just rock up. Yeah, you got this. Shouldn't Monzaimon is so annoying to build around currently? I'd imagine. Numemon and Monzaimon X are really solid. It just needs a bit more support to be a real deck. I agree. I also love Digimon. I love Digimon so much. And then Bandai. I'm so annoyed with like every card game company right now. TBH. But Bandai really annoying me recently. Trying to run my game into the ground. Hopefully next year's competitive circuit will be better. Hopefully. The secret extra deck slots to build decks on extra different devices is wild. But I think overall, right? It's like this competitive season was so whack, dude. Cause prizing was just not very good until like the very tail end of it when they decided to give us actual alt arts and stuff like that. I mean, which is cool and everything like that, great. But like, why did it take us an entire season to get there? You know, I don't understand that. And I also don't like the fact that they had like 3/4 of the season done, and then they announced that Nats is going to be open invite. Which I why didn't we like do this like at the start? You know. So it's kind of annoying. And I just overall I wish Bandai kind of had their shit together. Not to say that I think I don't know. Like I think One Piece pricing is really good. I don't know why we don't have something at least of the similar vein to One Piece. And I get like Treasure Cup and Ultimate Cup are the same thing, but then like why do regionals get Luffy's too in One Piece? Why don't we get Gallantmons and Imperial Ultramons in fucking Digimon regionals? You know, why does One Piece get fucking 3v3 tag team battles? Where's my 3v3 tag team battles? You know? I digress. Next season. Also, Aosa Plague, my fellow MachineDramon brother in arms. No, Bandai will not lick One Piece nuts. Dude, I actually, unironically, I got like really, I was like dicking around, right? So I bought One Piece cards. I bought One Piece cards. We're gonna build Rebecca and we're gonna build Nami. But I don't know. I signed up for a One Piece regional and I got in and everything, and then they refunded me because they put the wrong time or something like that. So and then I didn't get in. I didn't get in after they refunded me because I wasn't at the house when they refunded me. So oh well, sad. Hopefully Pokemon Crazy doesn't get too out of hand. I mean, it's gonna gatekeep like 1/3 of the format, and that sucks. My favorite One Piece deck to play though is Rebecca. I think Rebecca's really fun. Whatever the fat cats think will make them the most money. This is true. At the end of the day, Bandai is a company. It's a business, and I get that. But nonetheless, it annoys me a lot. And yeah, there are more One Piece nerds than Digi nerds. And I get that, but like, why are we doing the Digimon fan base such a disservice, man? It's just, I don't get it. Like, you're a multi-billion-dollar company. Fucking treat it like one. Let's see. My local Zeta homebrew of 2v2 was neat. Dude, I love team games. Like, I love, like, if you've ever played a Bushiroad game, in spring, Bushiroad hosts 3v3s. Like, 3v3 tournaments, you know? And those are great. Like, I loved playing in those. Every year when I had the opportunity, I would play in one. And it was a great time. It's just super fun. And One Piece gets them. And that's super cool. Why can't I have one? Seeing the spectacular Battle Spirits saga rise and fall was fun at least. Dude, I don't know. Battle Spirits like blew up and tanked, and it's so crazy impressive that they sunk so much money into it only for it to blow up in their face. I digress. And speaking of Battle Spirits, set 3 actually has some of my favorite cards, specifically like blue, because I love Mill Blue from the original Battle Spirits. That's one of my favorite archetypes. But like, I'm not gonna buy the cards because there's nowhere to play it. I don't like One Piece. I don't like One Piece that much. I feel the main skill element is based around doing epic math. No, I think there's like quite a bit of skill involved in One Piece for sure. I think One Piece is a very skill heavy game. Is it necessarily just doing epic math? I don't know, but I think there's like other factors involved in that as well. But I digress. I think One Piece is fun. What do you think is honestly the strongest deck to ever exist in the sense of win percentage, protection, draw power, etc.? BL's X? Probably Beelzemon X. It's definitely Beelzemon X. I think Beelzemon X is like the most borderline tier 0 bullshit we ever had. Beelzemon X and Blue Hybrid were the two biggest offenders of being near tier 0. Fuck both those decks. Have you ever heard of Dokapon Kingdom? Yeah, dude, I love Dokapon Kingdom. I love that game. Speaking of Bandai games, gonna try out the Dragon Ball Fusion World TCG. God, it's such a mouthful. I've never played Dragon Ball, but I might try it just to try it, TBH. Like, it doesn't hurt to not, like, try it. I'm a firm believer of, like, try everything once, you know? I want Gallymon to shine for once. Nah, dude, Gallymon will never shine as long as their mechanic relies on your opponent playing the game. Battle Spirits Saga Set 2 boxes, ratios, or scuffed? I wouldn't know. I haven't heard a single person talk about it. Let's see. I love team games, and I'm sad that DBS reboot is not being made to be a 2v2 format. I mean, just in general, I just wish every Bandai game got the same love as One Piece does, I guess. And then we're getting Union Arena, I think in English too. Because they showed it like in their World Festival trailer or whatever the fuck, right? Which is also annoying, because Battle Spirits just blew up in your face. Why are we doing another card game? Right? But I digress. SG? What is SG? Am I stupid? I don't know what SG is, but 3v3 matches, standardized 4-card limit among teammates. Yeah, that sounds like really fun. It's almost like Battle Spirits was a game that already did the exact thing once before. No idea why they tried it again, thinking it would be different. Because it's one of the most popular games in Japan. And they thought that, like, Digimon was a success, and One Piece was a success, and Battle Spirits is already a success, then, you know, hopefully the reboot will be a success, right? I think that's the logic. I get that. Like, that makes sense on paper. It just blew up in their face spectacularly. Zero interest in the One Piece IP myself, but friends have said they have a real problem with required tournament-exclusive promo cards in a la DVS. Yeah, I know. I would agree with that. I super agree with that. DVS had like a real pyramid scheme problem. Beelzemon Unbanned Agreed was freaking crazy. Yeah. That deck should not be been able to do all the bullshit it did. You couldn't floodgate it. It killed you on like turn 3. Like it sucked. It sucked. It's not fun. The only reason I got through that format was because I had MachineDramon, and MachineDramon could wall the ever-loving hell out of Beelzemon. That was the only reason I got through that format. For some people, the only puns they make are about dairy products because the rest are too cheesy. When they think of one, they tend to milk it for all it's worth. Thank you for that. I feel like my brain just enlarged a little bit. DBS is a really good game. You should try it. I personally have no investment in the DBS franchise, or just Dragon Ball franchise in general. I was not a Dragon Ball kid, and I never hooked onto it later in life either. But if once the online client comes out, I'll give it a try just to give it a spin. And yeah, official automated sim sounds lit. BT13 Gallant is great in purple deck. He really shines in decks that fill their trash. Yeah, BT13 Gallant's a good card. It just sucks that the rest of the deck is not. Singapore? I figured SG meant Singapore, but I wasn't sure if you were talking about another game either. But yeah. What's going on? Just vibing, bitching about Bandai, really. I didn't think I would like spiral this into like a Bandai bitch stream, but then I got worked up on it, so I alas. You gotta come up with a new way to distract themselves from making a Digimon sim? Yeah, dude. I'm so annoyed. There was no childhood anime for Battle Spirits, so it would never pop off. I mean, there was in Japan. I even watched one of the Battle Spirits Burning Saga, funnily enough. What non-purple deck do you think is best to take to Nats? I actually want to do a video on this. Unironically wanted to do a video on this. And I guess I could just do it right now. Whatever. Where is it? Give me a sec, guys. Let me get rid of some of this like garbage. You're not real. You're not real. You're not real. Yeah, I guess you're real. You're not 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 real. You're definitely not real. Nope. Goodbye. 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 You're not real, and maybe you're real? Okay. So these are the decks that I think could possibly do really well in that. And we could talk about this a little bit. And I'll probably do like a more official video on this later sometime in the future, but I think these decks potentially... let me actually get rid of this. I don't think Blue Flare does very well. But I think these decks potentially can do well in Nats. But really quick, Leviamon feels like what Garurumon could have been if the cards were designed to be more cohesive. Yeah. Which I don't... Somehow I don't have Leviamon on here. Let me go ahead and add that on. Unless hits happen, probably still Shine Greymon. I imagine Shine would get hit. I'd be very impressed if it doesn't. So I'm kind of going to like talk about this assuming Shine gets hit. And if Shine doesn't get hit, which is interesting, actually, because in Japan, Shine is not hit, and Anubis and Melga, like insert purple deck here, beat out Shine, which is very interesting. You think Digimon will get a sim at one point? At some point, surely, right? It's not like One Piece would get a sim before Digimon. Ha 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 ha. I heard Mario say that Jelly is exceeding people's expectations even more than Dianamon potential. Looking forward to Grace Novamon, but that Jelly deck looking kind of nice. I don't know what deck list he's cooking, but I think Jellymon is good. I think the issue with Jellymon is the fact that you lose to BT15 you lose to BT13 Marcus, and there's not a lot you can do about it, because, oh, I stunned Marcus. Oh, cool. I play down Marcus, and then Marcus taps itself for fun, and then there goes Amphimon. Like, all right, that's cool. So I don't know how you're beating Shine, but whatever. I'm back and forth on Bloom, Shine, and Warg myself. Yeah, I can talk about that in a sec. EX5 kind of volatile till we know if we have a ban list or not, right? I don't think so. I think, personally, I think Shine's gonna get hit no matter what. But even if Shine doesn't get hit, I mean, at the end of the day, purple's still the best, you know. Because I refuse to succumb to the dogs. I mean, I get that. I feel that. What would they even ban? Probably BT12 Marcus, if not BT13 Marcus. They might hit like a Thomas from Mirage, because in BT14 Mirage is kind of like annoying. I don't know what else they would hit after that. You think Ulforce could do well? I think Ulforce could do well. Is Lilith Mill or Loop? It's Mill. It's Mill Loop. I do want to give it more than a few weeks of EX5 we've had just because of Japan's new toy syndrome, but I can't imagine them dropping off too much. I think the issue with Shine, because I actually tested it. I tested Anubis versus Shine. Anubis establishes board a little too fast for Shine. It establishes board a little too fast, and the bodies have a little bit too much DP. Because you can get out 12k, 12k, and then 5k, 5k, and you just Soulmon, it's extra annoying. So sometimes Shine just can't break the board. And then you also have access to Ruin Mode in Anubis, so then you can just Ruin Mode out the Marcus, and they can't play the game. One Piece Sim much more likely since it uses a similar base to DBS though. RIP, I mean, sad. In Asia, Shine is really not doing well across the board. Yeah, too inconsistent and slow compared to Melga and Anubis. Also, Levi eats burst mode. Those are all very valid points. Shine is a very clunky deck in comparison, even with training boost. I don't think Grace Nova will ever leave locals because it requires your stack to be on the field more than 2 turns. Grace Nova is really awkward. Yeah, it's very weird. Okay, real quick rundown though. Hunters is always going to be a really good deck. It's one of the most memory efficient decks in the game, like by far. I think it's very difficult to like say it's not. It has one of the best forms of removal that most decks have no protection against. So because of that, it does well into a lot of like stuff that would normally wall out other decks. Actually, I guess we could add Jellymon. Jellymon has like a very interesting niche in EX5, but we can talk about that. But with Hunters, you're insanely memory efficient. You draw so many cards, so you're pretty consistent. You have a really strong way to end games. You have great removal. Like Hunters is a deck that if you don't know the matchup and you're not prepared for Hunters, it can very easily like sneak up on you. Partition decks though, can I do that on Dev? Can I do that on Dev? What will that even imply? What does that mean? But yeah, anyway. Yeah, so Hunters is just insanely memory efficient. I think if you want to play a low to the ground deck that doesn't rely on like, that doesn't have as many consistency issues as other decks, I think Hunters is a great choice. Black or Greymon, I think Black or Greymon is a deck that, again, has an answer to everything in the format, but then the issue then becomes you need to have the correct answer to the correct problem. And so because of that, I think you spread yourself a little too thin. But I think if you're able to have everything you need, Black or Greymon is a really great thing. Because, like, okay, if you play into Melga or you play into Luga, or if you play into Melga, then you can pop on the Unsuspend. And if you play into Luga, then you can just have big enough DP to wall them out, so like block the swing. If you play into Anubis, Anubis is a lot harder just because historically wide boards are really difficult for Black or Greymon. But like, you have BT and Metal Greymon, then you can de-digivolve the Merva, pop the Ignite, and then like start clearing the rest of the board. Also, I forgot Partition's a keyword. That's my bad. So yeah, Black or Greymon, it just has the issue of like you need certain things. You need the right card for the right time. Etemon is really good. Etemon is very good actually. With Etemon, you actually have a really great, you have a very good chance of walling out a lot of the popular decks. Like Anubismon, for example, you can wall out Anubismon, especially if you get 2 Metal Etemons on the board, and like it's almost impossible for them to ever break through it. Versus Lugamon, you can deny Lugamon's the Lugamon second restand, which is really huge. So then you can wall them out via that. Melga, if you have the King Etemon, you can wall them out, but then you're asking for a lot there. I think Etemon, unironically, worst matchup is probably Bloom. But yeah, I think Etemon's actually very good. I think the biggest issue with Etemon is how the bottom end is split between black and yellow. So if you go black base, you get access to one of the better Chumons, but then you don't get access to Pillamon. But then Pillamon hurts your deck anyway, and it's like really awkward. So Etemon, I think suffers from consistency issues, but if you make it work, then like you're a pretty good spot. So I think Etemon can be very good. Ulforce, I think Ulforce has potential because bounce is just in general very good. Ulforce X having bounce on both players' turns is pretty great. So you can like bounce on ult force and then bounce on ult force X, and you can bounce again on your opponent's turn. And you just work like that. You have access to the Leomon engine, and then the Leomon engine can turn into a Zudo engine. So then you can start bot decking stuff. So you can play Sword Strip ult force, and I think just like control the pace of the board like that. You might run into an issue where purple decks are a little too fast for you, but if they're swinging out, the chance that they hit a tamer is also very high. If they hit a tamer, it might just swing tempo completely in your favor. So that's also another thing you have to consider, right? Amphimon. Amphimon's niche is that on RB1 SR Amphimon, you have effect deletion nullification, right? So you can negate effect deletion. And into such a heavy purple format, I think being able to nullify those effects is really strong, right? So you can deny Luga, you deny Luga Pop, you deny Anubis Retail, and which are both very good. And I think the issue that you might run into as Amphi is number one, green is very difficult. I think Bloom is not very easy for you to beat. And I'll talk about Bloom in a second. I think Bloom is very good, actually. I think Bloom is like very, very good. But green decks are kind of awkward. I think the real issue with Amphi comes from Melga, because Melga has bounce, and you don't have protection against bounce. And then if you say, okay, well, I have attack negate, they resolve the bounce before you get the attack negate off. So you just end up getting bounced anyway, so you lose your stack. And that feels really bad. Maybe you could like do an aggro version of Amphimon, but the issue with aggro Amphi is that until you get the LM Amphimon, it's really hard to close out games, I feel like. So I think if the meta was exclusively like Anubismon and Luga, I think Amphimon could be really good. But I think pairing into Melga or pairing into Bloom, it can be very difficult. That's how I see it. That's my thoughts on the matter. Yeah. And then Melga is very self-explanatory. This deck is stupid. It can play very defensively. It can play very aggressively. It can play tempo-oriented. You will never know what variant of Melga it is until they hit you with it. And I think that's like one of the scarier things, is because each Melga variant plays very differently, and how they end their turn is very different. Because they might end your turn. They might end their turn dealing like an extra 2 damage. They might end their turn on a super ice wall. They might just end their turn playing a little bit more for tempo by like boot stacking and stuff like that. Like you'll never know what variant it is until it hits you. So I think Melga is very good, but Melga does lose to Luga. I think Luga beats Melga pretty consistently. So that's like one thing you have to keep in mind. And into Anubismon, I think can go like, it can swing either way, but it's not like an easy matchup. If I guess I could like, can I like tier these? I'll do a Nats tier list another time. I don't care right now. Bloom is very good. I think Bloom is very, very good. I think Bloom is probably like the dark horse of the tournament, if I'm being very honest with you guys. Because having access to, like, you have the most consistent search for Pomu Floodgate, which means that you stop Anubis, you stop Luga, and you have access to cards like Hydramon, and Hydramon is very good into Melga, because if you rob them of their memory, then you can deny a lot of their combo. And what else is there? Yeah, I really think the worst matchup for Bloom is probably like Shine and Fanglong. But again, I think Shine is gonna get hit, and I think you can dodge Fanglong. I think dodging Fanglong is pretty realistic, but I'll get into that in a bit. But Bloom is very good. Having access to Pomu is insane, because if you ever played into Anubismon, you'll realize Anubismon is very awkward in Floodgates. So like memory blocker, it's like Gazimon and stuff like that, it's not an issue, because you resolve pop before memory gain. So that's not an issue. You play in a Psychomon, okay, well then just revive a level 3, pay the 3, pop the Psychomon, okay, cool, go about your day. Which you're making them commit to that play, and that's really good. That's still very good. But they can get rid of it using their 6. Pomu clone though, and they can't kill it with Anubis because they can't trigger the Anubis. So the only way to actually kill the Pomu clone is that they have to be on Pummelwhack, they have to be on Kinkaku, or Garurumon starter deck, or Ruin mode. Or like, and you can't Deathclaw, because what, you're gonna Deathclaw your own stack? So you force them to run like the super like awkward tech choice to out the Pomu clone, or the Pomomon, right? So because of that, Bloom versus Anubis is actually it's like pretty good in your favor as long as you see the Pomu. If you see 2 Pomu, scoop, go next, GG, right? Into Lugamon, same thing. Lugamon can't pop the Pomu. They have to commit the Hell Lugar pop to get rid of the Pomu, but then they're passing their turn potentially to that, or they're just conceding tempo. So that's really good because then you're keeping like your 6 stack on board, you're keeping your 5 stack on board, and you just go crazy. The Melga matchup is very Melga matchup is probably like one of your harder matchups again, but I think you can probably make it doable if you abuse Hydramon, because I think Hydramon stealing memory from Melga is really important, because Melga combo, if you have Terriermon on board especially, you really mess up their math. But yeah, I think the biggest gatekeeper for that deck is like Fanglong and probably like Beelstar. But we'll talk about that. Does BT15 Luga impact the Pomu Pillow though? So for Nats, we won't have BT15 Luga, right? So that won't be an issue for us. In the future, yeah, they do have an out to that situation. So when we cross that bridge, we'll cross that bridge, but that's not an issue for us, right? Leopardmon kind of feels like... Okay, so Bloom and Leopard are very similar. But the difference is Bloom is more consistent than Leopard, because you have access to Palmon, you have access to Mimi, you have access to Lalamon. Ayatarmon is such an insane card as well. I think the biggest upside to Leopard is you have bounce built in to your 6, that like a more like higher ratio 6 than Hydramon, because like you're gonna play 4 Leopard X, whereas Hydramon like it's like a 2 or 3 of, right? So that's one upside. Second upside is that you can go Leopardmon spawn a body, Leopard X spawn another body, bounce. So that's also another thing you have going for you. I think the biggest pro though for Leopardmon is Leopardmon is able to play around Ruin mode a lot better. Because Ruin mode, you wall Bloom completely, because everything in Bloom when you summon it's like 5k or less. It's everything's 3k, right? Whereas Leopardmon, you can spit out a 6, or you can spit out a 7, or you spit out a level 5 that costs 7, right? So as a result, Leopardmon plays around Ruin mode a lot better. If Ruin mode becomes like this like super essential card in the format, like every deck is playing Ruin mode, you take Leopardmon. But if that's not the case, you just take Bloom. Answering comments. Don't worry, the newest players will just start evolving Maycrack level 5. No. Stop. Bad. Will they release Gamamon support before Nationals? LM? No. LM should not be. Beelzemon, it got the Garurumon engine, so you can try and abuse that if you want, I guess. And Beelzemon X is still a really dumb card. So you can just try and like lethal your opponent via that. I think that would be fine, but I think it might just be worse than Luga, and it might just be worse than Melga. Yes, Death X is huge. Death X is so insane in this format. That's another thing, right? Is that Bloom, if you take Bloom, you're also playing you're playing one of the decks that gets hit by Death X the most. Death X is insane. I think Death X is genuinely like so insane in this format. I would not be surprised if most people were playing like 1 to 2. Beelzemon gets a buff in the form of the Garurumon engine, because the Garurumon engine speeds up the Beelzemon deck so that you're cycling for your combo a lot faster. So I think that's totally valid. Luga is really good. Luga is very good. The Luga is probably the best OTK deck in the format. It plays the most like a BT9 deck, so it'll OTK you on like turn 3 for fun, and it's just not a lot you can do in that sense. But they struggle really heavily into Floodgate. I think Floodgate really walls Luga off really hard, especially if it's like a Pomu clone style of Floodgate, because I mean they have to commit a Hell Luga to pop it. So other than that, I think Luga can be really good into the format because Luga beats Melga. Luga sometimes can just roll the Anubis, because sometimes you just like you pop the Merva, get rid of the blocker, and then like try to push, right? So that's like one thing you can do. And then also with Luga, you do have you sometimes you're just faster than them on average, so you can like try and OTK them outright. That's one thing you have to keep in mind. But Luga, the triangle, like I think the best 3 decks in the format are Anubis, Melga, and Luga, and I think you just have to play around that triangle. And then like decks that are really close to that triangle are like Bloom and like Etemon and stuff like that. Mill I think Mill can be very good because with Mill Purple is popular and they're just drawing so many cards. You just try and mill them out, right? But the issue with Mill is that it's a little too slow sometimes, and that if Anubis just goes on board turn 2, or like Fender OTKs you turn 3, or Melga OTKs you turn 3, like what are you doing? You're doing nothing. Does Mirage actually have a chance of getting hit with restriction? I think so, because if you hit Shine, then Luga and Mirage might just run the format. We'll see. Beelstar. Beelstar with Garurumon Engine is very good. It's a very, very good deck, actually. Being able to just abuse the Garurumon discard engine and like getting like multi-attack, like pressure and everything like that is really, really strong. And then you just use Beelstar for late game, and then you abuse Metal Storm, which is the 7-cost blue option that bounces a 6 or below and also resends Garurumon, and you have battle protection on the Garurumon, so you can just swing out multiple times. But the only caveat with Beelstar is that your Anubis matchup is not very good, because they go way too wide, way too fast, and your answer to wide is Gewalt, which you can only cast with Beelstar, or Happy Bullet Shower. And that only pops like one body, so it's not a really great answer. But yeah, so if it wasn't for Anubis being such a rough Beelstar matchup, I think Beelstar could be very good. Also, Beelstar is just really clunky because it's Beelstar, so sometimes you just don't draw the pieces that you need. But I digress. Yeah. Leviamon. Leviamon can be good. But the issue with Leviamon is that it's only good into decks that like play into the Biting Crush. So like, luckily for it, decks like Anubis and decks like Fenrir are going to be popular, so you can Biting Crush Chomp, like pop their shit, and that's great and everything. But then if you pair into a deck like Hunters, for example, or you pair into a deck like Melga, it gets a little bit trickier because like, what are you popping? You're not popping anything, you know. That I think that's like the biggest caveat. Mirage can be really good. Mirage has the ability to break the Anubis board very efficiently. The issue with Mirage is that you're just playing a worse Luga in a sense, because Luga will OTK you before you OTK them. Bloom is kind of an awkward matchup. Melga runs you over. Yeah, it's just kind of awkward sometimes. But Mirage can be good. I think Mirage being able to break boards very easily is something that like it's in its favor. Again, Shine. I think Shine is gonna get hit, so I wouldn't. I wouldn't spend a lot of time practicing Shine if I were you. But on the off chance Shine doesn't get hit, I think Shine is a little too slow and a little too clunky for the format, personally. Yeah, Levi has to rely on its line for the non-spawn matchups. I agree, which sometimes you're just asking for a little bit much. Fanglong. Fanglong is a deck that reads bad but plays a lot better. And I think the only issue with Fanglong is consistency is sometimes really awkward, because I mean, you have to draw the Fanglong, and Fanglong is not searchable because he's a god beast, and your loyalty deeper than the sea white option only searches for Devas and 4 sovereigns, which is really annoying because I'm not being able to grab the Fanglong kind of sucks. And like, I get like you could just put it back on top, but then you have to waste extra like resources drawing into the Fanglong, right? So that in of itself can be really awkward sometimes. But I think the biggest issue with Fanglong is that not having access to the raising area can be really awkward, because like having that protection, that safety net can be really good. And sometimes Fanglong is just a little too slow. Like if you play in a Melga's a little too fast, and having battle protection on everything, it makes it really awkward. So I think Fanglong can be a good deck, but you're going to feel the speed disparity. I think it'll be very noticeable. Thoughts on Ulforce? Will it still be a rogue deck moving into BT 14-15? I think Source Strip Ulforce in 14 is going to be very good. I think Source Strip Ulforce in 14 is good. You just abuse Joe and Zudo and Goma really hard. Because Joe is like a 2-cost tamer that you can abuse, that taps itself. And in 15, you have the Garurumon engine. So I think Ulforce is in a good spot, personally. And then finally, I think Security Control is like a big question mark for me, because you might just be able to blow out certain decks out of the water. Like if you play in a Luga, you just pop the Fenrir. If you play into Anubis, you pop the Merfa. If you play into Melga, you pop the Melga. Like that's great and dandy. But it's also one of those decks where like if they have matchup experience, sometimes they can just play around it completely. Like if you play into Melga X, then they can just like wait to amass like a certain amount of bodies, or like play around an Omni X proc. If you play into Anubis, they can just like try amass, go wide, and then just, like play like beat you down that way. If you play into Fenrir, then they're just gonna like amass bodies and beat you down that way as well. And then you have certain decks that just have like burn for free. Like for example, you have like Black War Greymon style decks that have Yuya that have protection, they can burn you, Beelzemon X, etc. So I think security control is like, it can be good, but also you have, I don't know what build you would do that people couldn't just play around. Security control to me is like the biggest question mark, because I think it has a lot of potential, but it's also like it might just get like blown up, you know. Are you making a Metabots reference, Tasty? Is this a Metabots reference? You have a problem. You and your damn Metabots, bro. But yeah, that's my thoughts on what decks could potentially do well at Nats. I think any of these decks, or actually, not any of these decks. Let me trim this a little bit. You probably can't do it. I don't think Levia does it. I don't think Beelzemon does it. I don't think Shine. I think Shine's getting hit, so I'm just gonna remove it off the board. Hunters might just be a little too slow, TBH. Actually, no. Hunters might be okay. I think Hunters is okay. Hunters is probably okay. I don't think Leopard makes it. I don't think Belphamon makes it. Let me think. I don't think Ulforce will make it, but I also could see Ulforce making it. Amphimon. Okay. These are the decks I think have a potential at top 8 Nats. Right now. Again, we're like, there's so many months away from Nats, so like things can change. But I think these are the decks that could. Let me get rid of Black War Greymon. That's cool. I think these are the decks that could top 8 Nats. These are probably it. If I had to put my money on decks, like it would probably be these. And it's either because they inherently do really well into purple. They have a gimmick that cannot be matched. They have a surprise factor. They're consistent. Like there's some like kind of like factor pushing for their success, right? With the purple decks, I mean they're purple. Purple's just really strong right now. Fanglong, I think not a lot of people will know what's happening. They'll play into a board wipe and get absolutely wasted. Bloom just has access to Pomu. It's insane. Etemon can wall out people really hard. Mirage has the ability to break the board super easily, and the Hunters is just insanely memory efficient. Etemon is exclusively because of Alex, isn't it? He and I have been talking about Etemon a lot, and I think we've come up with a pretty solid list. Calling Black War Greymon cope. I think Black War Greymon is good. I think you can top 32 with Black War Greymon. I think the issue with top 8 though is if you have to build in one direction, because if you spread yourself too thin, then you need to like heart at the cards to like pull through. I just don't have enough faith to do that. Why is Beelstar good now? Garurumon X is a broken card. Draw 2, discard 2 is so broken for that deck, and then on swing, draw 1, discard 1, draw 1, discard 1, and then Suno, draw 1. It's just gross. You filter. Let me think. So Garu X, Garu Evo. So draw 1, draw 1 for Evo, and then discard 1, and then Garu X, draw 1 for Evo. Garu X, draw 2, and then discard 2, and then Sunomon. You also don't forget the Suno trigger, so 6, and then on swing, draw 1. And then, again, on swing, draw 1. So you filter 8 cards off the top of your deck for funsies. And you filter 8, discard 5. Draw 8, -5. which is insane for Beelstar. And then you just, yeah, it's gross. But yeah, when are you gonna release the secret Titamon deck you've been cooking? That's not real. Nope. Nopers. Etemon is cap. I don't think Etemon is cap. I think Etemon is actually really good. I think Etemon is a deck that I think will catch a lot of people by surprise, because it does not play like a normal Digimon deck. So if you've never played into Etemon, you're definitely just gonna walk into it, and you're gonna walk into its win con, and it's gonna clap you. This is a deck where you need like an actual understanding of like what's happening, and the reality is, the reality is like, I don't think majority of players will prep for Etemon, and I think it'll end up catching a lot of them by surprise, TBH. So definitely, I'm telling you guys, like, respect this deck. This is a deck to like, you have to like put on your radar personally. But yeah, the other decks, and like I said, I think the biggest reason to push these decks, for me personally, I think it's just because their matchup spread just is really good. They just happen to have like a really good matchup spread, for the most part. Like they have like maybe like one really bad matchup, or like one like unfavorable matchup, but like the rest is like even or favorable for them. But yeah, this is like my nine that I think would do well in Nats. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys have any thoughts, let me know. Purple only? Dude, I'm telling you, Etemon and Bloom about to go crazy. Purple hell? No, dude, we have a black and yellow deck, we have a yellow deck, we have a green deck, and you have a blue deck. Yeah. Is Sovereign's that good? I'm happy to see that. I don't think it's like that good, but the deck has seen a lot of results in Japan. And in testing, I can understand why it would do well, because it has one of the best board wipes in the game. The board wipe is very strong. It plays competitively into Anubis. It can play competitively into like most decks actually. I think the issue that you're gonna run into as Fanglong or a Sovereign is just like faster matchups. Anything that's fast is gonna be an issue. So like I think Melga is an issue, and I think Luga could be an issue. But other than that, I think you're fine. And I think that's why it's like important to like play like security bombs and stuff like Wyvern's Breath or like Heaven's Judgment and Fanglong, so that way you can like sack them out sometimes. No red? Yeah, I don't think red is very good. I think red is very bad this format, TBH. I'm not a fan. Let's see. Any matchups Bloom struggles into that is purple? Melga. Probably Melga. Melga and Beelstar are probably your worst purple matchups. But you like do really well into Fenrir and Anubis. Still think Shine is a crazy hit when it gets outpaced by EX5. I think it'll get hit because of BT14. I think BT14 will be the main reason it gets hit. Yes. Bloom is a very hard deck to pilot. And over the course of like 9-10 hours, you're definitely going to get really tired, and you're definitely going to make mistakes throughout it, unless you're like keeping it up. But I played MachineDramon for regionals, and by round 7, I was mentally fatigued, and I was making like really dumb mistakes that I normally would not make. So that's like, it really goes to show like mental strength and like fatigue is like a really huge part in like doing well in tournaments. I will forever to believe Bloom will top. I mean, Bloom has topped. Bloom has even won an event. Bloom has done pretty. Bloom did really well in BT13 at the start of it, actually. How about Imperial with Imperial Ace? I don't even know if Imperial Ace will be illegal. But assuming Imperial Ace is legal, which again I don't think it will be personally. No, this doesn't fix anything for the deck. It doesn't change anything for the deck, unfortunately. Oh, are we talking about Nats? If we're talking about Nats, then Bloom did top. Not North American Nats, but it did top in like at some regions Nats. I don't remember. You know what we need? Beelstar X. I'm good. I'll pass. We can hold off. We can hold off on that personally. But yeah, I think these decks could do really well. Personally, I'm probably leaning towards Bloom, Luga, or Etemon. Me personally, those are my 3 decks that I'm kind of like leaning on. I think with playing Anubis, I think Anubismon, if you play Anubis, you have to be like prepared to like everyone's gonna try and like gun for your head. So everyone's gonna be playing like cards specifically to beat the Anubis matchup. I think it's really annoying. So I just personally don't want to deal with that. BT6 Tsunomon stonks. Calm down. Calm down. The card is very good though. BT6 Tsunomon is broken. It's just like it's like the freest draw in purple right now. I guess an EX5, whatever. Beelstar will come back against Apoc if you want to play the deck. I mean, if they Belphamon, you can't snipe it though, which I think is an issue. Grace Nova's gonna steal a top 8. If Grace Nova makes the top 8 in any region, I'd be kind of impressed. Not gonna lie. I've been messing with Etemon. I think it's super slept on. I agree. I think Etemon is very good. I think I think people just don't give it enough credit because like they look at it and they're like, haha, poop deck. Like there's no like, you know, but like it's actually like very competitively viable, I think. I will say though, your bad matchups, Bloom is kind of hard. Bloom is hard. Yeah, Bloom is hard. Most purple decks are very doable actually. And I actually into most purple decks you're actually pretty good into it. I think the biggest caveat though is that like purple decks are much more streamlined and they have a much more linear game plan, so it's very easy for them to execute it. Whereas with Etemon, you kind of your bottom end is so clunky that sometimes you just like get hoed out, and sometimes you just can't execute your game plan well. You need to solve the offense problem. So I think with Etemon, you could just play for brick wall, like defensive up, and then you can just like wall out your opponent and starve them of resources, and so they can't play the game. I think that's a fine way to approach it. That's how I saw success with Machine. Is that I just like chipped away at their resources. I broke their boards. I just didn't let them play the game, and I think Etemon can execute a similar game plan, especially now that you have healing in a black deck. So you're like really great at grind game. Yes, Fanglong eats Etemon. Yes, I agree for sure. I definitely agree. It is definitely one of the more annoying things. Etemon and yeah, Shine also beats Etemon, but again, I don't think Shine. I think Shine will get hit again, and if Shine gets hit, I can't imagine that many people would take it to Nats. So I think it's okay. I think having a more or less positive matchup into most purple decks makes Etemon a pretty solid choice. Although Beelstar can be very awkward because they have access to like Metal Storm, Cocytus Breath, so they can bounce you, and then you're just like kind of sad. But if you have King Etemon, I guess it's okay. Yeah, very awkward stuff. But yeah, I think Etemon is like up there, but like right now, my current front runner is Bloom. I think Bloom is very good. Like I said, I think if I had to have a dark horse, it would be Bloom. I would put my money on Bloom. And yeah, I love playing control decks where you just like slowly like break away and like whittle your opponent's board. That's why in a lot of card games I like playing control decks. Like I like playing MachineDramon in this game. In Shadowverse, I'm playing Heavenly Aegis. In Yu-Gi-Oh, I used to play Zodiac and Trickstars. Yeah.
It would be a zoo player.
I was a zoo player. Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, dude, Zoo is lit. I love Zoo. If I could have kept playing Zoo, I would have.
Did you play Dark Knights or Dark Warriors? It was called
Rongo Bongo.
Yeah, Rongo Bongo.
No, I didn't play Rongo.
Okay.
I wish I could have played Rongo though. How does Bloom out Pomu clones? It's really annoying. Hydramon, EX3 Pomumon, Tap and Swing, and Lilymon Ace. Those are your 3 outs. You might need to bump Lilymon Ace to a 2 of just to deal with the Pomu clones, TBH. What is the deck you would continue to play even if it never becomes competitively viable again? Probably MachineDramon. That is lit. And it gets support like every set for fun. Against Apocalymon, Beelstar running before Rivals Barrage essentially can guarantee 3 to 4 free Beelstars in the same turn, with possibly Avenge Kids, etc. to instantly recover. I can see that. Maybe Beelstar is the answer. But like even then, I still don't feel good about the deck like killing off every other control deck. That seems kind of monka. But yeah. Anyway. Karan, is there anything you want to say to all these amazing people that are watching and are definitely subscribed to Huang Zero and in the Huang Zero Discord server?
Oh, let's see. EX5 is fast, but it's still pretty cool. Beelstar is the coolest deck ever. Actually, that mechanic is so freaking cool. It does not need Beelstar X. No. Get that out of your mouth, people in chat. I saw that earlier. I got a little riled up there. No, for real though. Dogstorm is like, it's a really fun deck. Garu X to 1, please. That card's busted and should never have been made. Every time you read it, there's a new effect on it. Fanglong is a super cool deck. I hope they get something like an Omegamon in the future. You know how like Royal Knights got that, and I think some other deck got it? Where it's like, they got like a cheaper cost version of the Ultimates, essentially.
It wasn't Royal Knights, it was Ultra S.
Ultra S. Well, yeah. Royal Knights has their own Omegamon for its like own like basically like a cheaper engine to help the deck is what I'm trying to say.
Sure, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like that would be really cool for Fanglong one because I think that deck is like super cool, but it's when it gets out tempoed, it's like near impossible for this deck to ever come back. Let's see from the meta decks here. Lugamon, that deck is crazy.
It's a BT9
Bloom,
deck, yeah.
I forever think that BloomLord is a cope deck, but that's just me.
You want to play it? We can play Bloom versus your choice.
Beelstar, sure.
You want
to Shine?
I mean,
but you think Shine's gonna get hit,
I think Shine's gonna hit, yeah.
Alright, I mean, I'll play with Beelstar, I guess. We could do that later.
Sure.
Hunters it's the Seinfeld of Digimon, dude. It does nothing and you somehow win.
Yeah.
You know, that's a cool deck. Etemon, I'm still going to keep that thing. If Etemon wins, or if someone says poop deck wins, I'm just quitting this game, no matter what.
If I top Nats with Etemon, what does that mean?
That just means you're a good player. There's literally nothing around that. I don't even think you... I think you carried the deck, not the deck carried you. That's how I would see it.
Dude, Etemon is too lit. That deck is sick.
But if you fucking make a video, like, let's say you win, right, with the Etemon deck, and then you say, poop deck, #1 deck in the format, blah, you know, all that stuff for your video, yeah, I'm quitting, dude. I'm gonna just say it right now. I'll quit. But no, for real. Yeah, play Digimon, buy cards, and subscribe to Huang Zero.
Yay! Actually, now that I was talking about it on the stream though, I do want to test the Jellymon deck for for EX5 because like because it has immunity to deletion, which I think is really good.
Is it that like that restanding one?
No, not that one. If we had that one, we'd be cooking, dude. But we don't have that one.
That's not out?
No, that's an LM.
Oh, is that? Oh, LM. Oh, dude. Okay, another deck. You know what? You just reminded me because LM. That Quartzmon thing
The Quantmon? Yeah.
Oh, Quantmon. Holy crap, dude. I've never seen that card in my life until like last week because I didn't even think LM was a real set, to be honest. I thought that was just some like, you know, promo crap or whatever. Reading that card.
It's sick, right? It's sick.
Holy crap, dude. Reading that card just screams, alright, play this in Yellow Hybrid, dude. Yellow Hybrids are back. That card is cool.
Yeah.
If that card was out for Nats, I'd actually not play Dogstorm, and I'm playing Yellow Hybrid.
Okay, so that's actually That's actually another thing we can talk about. Yellow hybrid. So yellow hybrid for I know most people don't know about this, but yellow hybrid is one of it was Misao. I think it was Misao. Misao is one of the players that went to Worlds as a Japanese representative. So Misao is a very good player, and the deck that Misao was hyping up in all of EX5 was yellow hybrid. He was saying that yellow hybrid was actually one of the best decks in the format for EX5, and the reason why is because it has an insane grind game that like it's almost you just can't match it. And he was saying that it beat most purple decks except for like Fenrir. And I think let me find the link. Let me find the he wrote like an entire article about it actually. Let's see. Oops.
However, I will say BT15. I'm not excited for Apocalymon. That card's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Shoot, but what was okay? There was something in yellow hybrid that made me like, oh wait, but here's another thing though. My issue with yellow hybrid.
Oh, I found it.
If you expect the shine hit and if you expect what it is going to be, the deck is going to get nerfed pretty significantly.
Okay, yeah.
Because it reduces consistency pretty hard.
Right here, this guy printed out an entire article on like yellow hybrid and why yellow hybrid is good in EX5. Granted, it does run Quantumon, or at least one of the listed. One of the listed.
The one I've been looking at was one without Quantumon, but I like the Quantumon one a lot.
Okay, so somebody said yellow hybrid won like everything in the last 2 weeks of EX5. Interesting, very interesting.
I'm telling you, man, it was the out to purple.
I mean, yeah, you have access to Crimson and Blaze. You have like so many security bombs to blow them out of the water. Like I think
they play Crimson.
Yeah.
No, they play
they
play the Shine variant of it, Shining Blast.
No, they do both. They do both.
Oh, they do both.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
but that's the thing, right? You play Shining Blast, you play the other ones, like, because you're playing like a whole like kind of like an Agu Marcus package, which, holy crap, dude! That's a fantastic package.
That being said,
Giggity.
This article, if you want to know the rest of it, if you want to see the rest of it, you have to pay $5.
That's crazy.
I haven't paid $5 yet, but if somebody wants to like give me the rest of the article,
yeah, he's asked. You're pirating a man's freaking Patreon.
Here,
dude.
I went ahead and I posted the article if anyone wants to see it. But yeah, I think this yellow hybrid deck could be very good. We need to test it. We for sure need to test this. The fuck was that? Oh, was that me? All right. I shifted my table.
Yo, did you just?
I linked
Blue Fantasy.
Oh, whoops.
Ooh, you've been exposed.
I don't think it's exposed. Whoopsie, my bad.
GBF Degen.
It's a gotcha game I play, guys. Sorry. But yeah, so we need to test yellow hybrid. That's something that's definitely like on my list of things to test. But if it's good,
well, hold on.
Huh?
If they hit the deck in either of the two ways we talked about, because
yeah. So if they hit BT13 Marcus, this is dead, right?
If they hit BT12 Marcus, this is significantly weaker, and if they hit BT13 GeoGreymon,
wait. So question: if they hit BT12 Marcus, so when the deck only plays 2, is that really that big of a hit?
Considering, you have to change up your options, I guess, because now you're going from the 5 Marcus players, the Final Shining Burst and Shining Blast, to a little bit of a different package, I guess.
Yeah, but then you have shit like Heaven's Judgment and Wyvern's Breath.
Yeah.
And like
you probably switch it to Lonke. I wouldn't say Heaven's Judgment in this deck, but you definitely Lonke.
Why not Judgment? Because you have like red yellow, like you have the Agumon.
You're not really going to keep the rookies on the field, right? Or they're going to get popped before your security check, I'd say. Well, also, you're most likely not going to have a Digimon on the field as well, for the on-play effect.
I guess, but yeah.
Also, yeah, all your ultimates are pure yellow.
Yeah.
So that's also another thing.
I mean...
okay. I was going to say the third hit that would actually kill the deck is the GeoGreymon to 1. Because that is a huge factor.
I get that. There are so many red yellow tamers that you could replace with that. I think even with the hit, the deck would probably be okay. Like conceptually, the deck is like really solid.
It's a cool deck.
Yeah.
It takes the annoying part of yellow hybrid, but makes it cooler because now you have like crazy text, like a lot of stuff that cheat out stuff. Basically, every card is like almost like a Bokumon.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. Also seeing yeah. Oh, okay. I was gonna say Agumon makes a TK punch, but that's not how that works. It makes a Marcus punch.
I think the biggest concern I would have for this deck is that like, if you don't Crimson Blaze Luga in time, they just like smack the fuck out of you.
That's why you have stuff like Shining Blast to like reduce their.
I mean, yeah,
that's
that. Yeah, you have to like hope like you hit the bomb at the correct time, right? Like
yeah.
But sometimes.
So. Shining. A proper Shining Blast can actually just screw over their entire turn. Even in an Anubis turn, a good Shining Blast like Insecurity will screw them over really badly.
TBH, I kind of don't want to. I want to test this deck now, but I also don't want to test this deck until like we see what the ban list is.
Until you see it, yeah. It's such a cool deck, but it's so prone to the ban list or your predicted ban list.
Like
I personally don't think there's going to be a ban list, but if there is. This deck is kind of dead in the water.
Yeah, I need to see a ban list before I decide to test this, because like there's like it's just way too many cards that like potentially gets hit and like it shifts like the direction of the deck.
There's a lot of cool stuff, and the issue is too now if it gets hit, we don't really have anything to learn off of JP now because they're now in BT15 format.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Oh, this is BT15.
For anyone who's watching this video or this stream right now, you guys should totally buy out MachineDramon Ruin Mode. Just buy it out, please. You'll thank me.
Anubismon at 33, MirageGaogamon, Guru. Mirage was second place? Really?
Holy shit, Mirage was a good counter to purple, man.
No, I think Mirage was really good into Anubis, but I didn't think he was that good into Melga and Fenrir, to be honest with you. Oh.
Melga gets gigantic hands. So
but Melga can neg. Melga can easily neg because Melga Ace is a -3.
Oh. Well, I mean it's still a build tall deck, right? And when Mirage gets rid of that one stack, it's kind of over for them.
I think the issue is more so like they'll OTK you before you OTK them.
That's also a thing too, right? They're the new Melga X.
Melga X is also very problematic for that deck, yeah.
Wait, hold on. I am not watching your stream, but every video or every link you're on, they're playing like a 4 of a training boost, right? Just making sure.
Yeah, of course.
For Mirage, okay.
Yeah.
Same old then. Yeah, nothing changed. Okay.
Let's see.
Personally, again, I don't think there will be a ban list even for English, because like the formats seem to be still like pretty diverse and stuff. All things considered.
No, I think we're getting the ban list. I think it's happening.
I mean, again, that's fine. Like, right? Like, either way, I think it's fine. Whatever, for both, like hit or no hit, because no matter what, this format is taking a massive change when it comes to Nat season.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. What else was there? That was like really cool.
Mirage did work at the start of the format before the Melga stuff was as hot as the Anubis. Melga wasn't that deck until like 2 weeks in. I get that, but even then, like. Mirage was consistently keeping up, which I think is very interesting. I know East made out a video too. Let's see. Yeah, I know East did a video. Let me find his tier list. Yeah. Deva and Leopard were standouts. Where's Leopard?
I remember taking that picture. Seeing that picture. Wasn't Leopard just like a mix of Deva Leopard?
That build existed, but it was aight. It was very aight. Did we get a ban list last year of end of year? I don't remember. TBH.
No, we got a ban list after Nats. Yeah. Like they hit Gray X to 1 after Nats, not even during it. Digimon ban list. I don't think it was gonna show me every single time if something got hit, but we'll see.
I don't want to watch this whole video right now, but I wish... That's true, yeah. EX5 was also like a month long. It was not very long.
Dude, yeah, it was surprisingly short. So all the data we got there, we like. I think
that
the
wasn't
lot.
a lot.
Yeah. I mean
Um,
that the cursive EX format is
Also,
something, right?
Bloom is a lot better in Japan than it is in America because they have access to Quantmon and we do not.
Oh, so bit of a heads up. The last time we got a ban list before the Gray X one was when BT10 came out. I forgot when that was, but it says effective November 11th. So I'm assuming that was like the week prior, because I remember Full Power Shoutmon was only legal for like a few days after set release.
Hmm. Okay.
So essentially, last time we'll see. So essentially, if this follows this, or this trend at least follows,
Then
that
BT14 is getting hit.
then yeah, we're gonna see BT14 hit at the end of this month.
Yeah.
But
I think they'll give it to us in November,
yeah.
like start of November or like end of November.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I think it'll be at the start or mid-November.
Yeah.
But regardless, like that's when we would see a hit if we follow this trend of like past ones.
Yeah.
But then after that, the next ban list came April, or effective came April 1st. So that's 4 months away comparing to like because we're going to expect it in March.
Sidebar. Yeah, Deva Leopard really struggles into Levia. Deva Leopard struggles into anything that can abuse like the amount of memory you give it. TBH.
Yeah, 7 memory is a lot.
7 memory is a lot, and like you can make the argument like you clear the 7, like you clear the 5, and then they have a 5 in the back, and that's fine and dandy and everything. But sometimes it's just too much investment that you have to pass over, and you just get like railed.
Sometimes you get memory choke too, because you're giving them 7 memory. They're definitely going to choke you somehow.
Yeah, it's just kind of awkward. I would rather just play Bloom over Leopard unless Ruin mode is a big thing, which I mean, dude, it could be very well be. Yeah, I really want to test this yellow hybrid deck, but I need this fucking Banlist Bandai. Like, off it up. Hand it.
We gotta play the waiting game, dude. We're like that old man on the chair just looking down.
If yellow hybrid is popular, which I don't think it will be popular because it's fucking yellow hybrid. Bloom.
It's never popular.
You can't play Bloom. Bloom is really bad in the yellow hybrid because especially when they have access to Crimson Blaze and bullshit like that. You can't do that.
Oh, Shining Burst screws it over, yeah.
Yeah, Shining Burst as well. So there's a lot that does like you might randomly get murked by.
There's also also I keep forgetting it's a card even. MachineDramon actually has a real battle trap ability.
Yeah,
where it can
MachineDramon is really good. Yeah.
It can just pop a dude and heal one. It's some BM.
Yeah.
Really cool card. Oh, Final Shining Burst is such a fun card too. I love it. Gets rid of boss monsters.
But yeah, overall, EX5. I actually really enjoyed EX5. I know a lot of people don't look forward to it because of purple format and all of that, but like I actually really liked really liked EX5.
I don't mind Melga. I don't mind Leviamon.
The only
I don't mind. Yeah, I just don't like Anubismon, to be honest. He just seems to do a lot.
My favorite decks are decks that just happen to inherently do really well into Anubis. My actual least favorite deck in the format is fucking Luga, unironically.
Luga?
Yeah.
That deck did feel like it kind of does nothing for a while. It's like a bunch of setup.
It's a BT9 deck. It's a fucking BT9 deck, dude.
Yeah. I feel, yeah, we definitely did talk about this. A deck I'm super disappointed that it's just not doing anything is what's it called? The Dawn Dusk deck.
Yeah, that deck is it's very aight.
Remember when they said it was supposed to be competitive?
Yeah, they lied to my fucking face. That's crazy. All right. How am I building Jellymon for fucking this format for
James.
James in here?
Hello.
Yeah, I ranted about Bandai for an hour and then we talked about Nat's format. It was lit.
Neat.
I know, right?
Bandai's a great company. Awesome. No complaints.
Bandai is so cool. Yeah. Yahoo.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you think, James? If we tested for EX5, should we expect a hit or no hit? Because that before it was like, all right, Shine gets hit, right, or not hit, it's still not going to do much in this format, right? But there's another deck that can do something in this format if Shine does not get hit. Ironically enough, what do you think? Because the yellow hybrid.
I think if you want to make that judgment, you wait till BT14.
Yeah.
Because if they were gonna hit Shine, they'll hit it with BT14, right? Because realistically, the reason you would hit Shine is because of training boost.
BT14 format. Yeah.
Well, not the BT14 format, but specifically training boost.
Oh yeah, training
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, I think. I mean, you can argue Patamon, but I
No.
there's a lot of Japanese success of Shine doesn't even run Patamon. Like Patamon
Oh,
can be a build, but like I see a lot of build that doesn't even run Patamon. The Go ahead.
I was gonna say, James, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. When you kept bringing up Patamon and Shine, I've only seen like one or two lists at most out of like 100.
It was just
that
like
use
it was just like a cool thing that was being done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, oh hey, this the vaccine engine. It works
It,
with Shine because everything in Shine is vaccine, right? But
it,
realistically, if we're talking just competitive wise, the problem in BT14 with Shine is not anything else. It's
it,
freaking training boost.
it wasn't just training boost too. It was the fact that they effectively used 7 to 8 training boosts, while the average deck can only use 4.
Right.
Like increasing your training boost
Everything's
count
dual color. You can run both red and yellow training boost, and that's my point. Like you can run. I think the average list, if I remember correctly, the average list runs something like 6 or 7 training boosts. Typically
7,
four,
yeah.
yeah, typically 4 yellow, 3 red, and they just and because both of your tamer is dual color, and all your pieces are dual color, you basically find everything, and you just have like mad consistency. Because training boost is like net 0 memory, right? Because you pay 2, you get 2 back. You pay 2, you get 2 back. So it's not like you're spending memory, that you're not getting back. It's not like memory boost where you're spending 3, and you're only getting 2 back. You just stock 2 memory for later. So it just, I don't know. Overall, like I think that's the problem with Shine in 14.
Yeah, I mean, training boost also is the reason why like Mirage is good, right? It literally isn't even like the deck itself. You know what I mean? It's literally the free engine they gave to every color. Oh man, I'm not ready to pick up red and yellow training boosts in
But
November. That's
but
gonna be expensive.
to your question, if they don't hit Shine with BT14, I would just expect Shine to be in that format, because
Oh yeah,
it'd be really weird to hit it for EX5, because EX5 comes out what, a week before Nats.
Nats. Yeah.
So realistically, yeah, if we'll see it, the hit comes with BT14,
Of
which is
course, yeah.
in like what, a month and a half.
What? Yeah, like a month.
A month.
Like a month. No, a month and a half. Because we get it like November 14th or some shit.
No,
Oh,
17.
I'm expecting
17.
a ban.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
expecting a ban list like they did last time, where essentially like they hit Jellymon before the set even came out, so we had a week of legally playing it, like at full power. If you remember that.
Yeah, but I just don't know what they would hit. Um,
I still think I'd rather see them hit training, because I think that card's just overpowered as hell. But
they will not hit
yeah,
training.
I mean, obviously you're right. They're not going to, because they don't want to hit the generic cards, which is fine and understandable. So then obviously, right, they're going to hit Marcus, or because he's a security tech +1 puncher, right? Or they're going to hit the Geogramon from set 13, because that's just a free
Actually,
+1 tamer from
do
security.
you guys think? So I had this discussion with some people. Do you guys think they might hit BT15 Marcus instead?
There is no BT15 Marcus.
What?
No,
You
sorry,
mean 13? 13?
13. Sorry,
Okay, so
BT13.
I'm gonna be real with you. So if they hit 13 Marcus, that's the end of Yellow Hybrid. Like, that deck's not going to financially recover from that shit. Shine will still be playable, but oh damn, dude, it is going to be way slower and weaker, because that +1 memory, in my opinion, is more important than the -3K. Because when you have a champion and you have a Marcus, right? You start at 3 memory, pay 1 to bring out the Marcus. You evolve into an ultimate, and typically you're going to play a set 13 Marcus to go back to 0 memory.
Yeah, because one of the issue that the training boosts represent is now you can consistently grab all your Marcus, and getting multiple, like the BT12 Marcus is broken in various ways, right? But without BT13 Marcus, your memory threshold is a lot weaker
It's much harder to play the game. That is 100% for sure. Especially when you get memory choke. Like, let's say you just go to 2 memory and you don't have a punchy Marcus, and you still want to keep your turn and go to Mega. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, so I'm just curious if they would actually hit 13 Marcus instead of 12. And there's
it's a huge enough nerf. I would be on. Sometimes I think about it too. Is like I think set 13 Marcus might actually be more important, just because it'll actually enable you to play the game. Obviously, set 12 Marcus is like the reason the deck is like good, right? Because it's a yellow hybrid deck now because it just turns tamers into punchers. But
yeah,
it's hard to say. I feel like the deck needs both. It really needs both to be playable.
They might. I think they might hit. We might end up getting a hit for Shine, and I know Gal has not seen any too much success in America, but they might hit Gal because of Japan.
Another thing too is they're never going to do it because I don't think they've ever hit an SR before, like in the history of Digimon.
Outside of the Ultimate Cup, they have not.
In Ultimate Cup? Oh, I don't care about Ultimate Cup. I'm gonna be honest. I just don't care about that format. In regular history, right, for Digimon, they've never hit an SR. Mm-hmm. If they hit set 12 Shine, the deck is still very playable. Yeah, it'll be a little slower because it doesn't get that security tech +1 for like the BT9 OTK kind of play. But it'll be very playable, and it can actually still do well against decks like Purple Anubismon, because you'll just play set 13 Shine, and you now have an unkillable blocker against Purple because they can't kill a Digimon without a level. Right?
Do you guys think they might hit Luger?
No, I think they should, but they won't.
I think you guys said it would be safe for now until its next round of support, because you guys are saying the ultimate in Luger was like the busted one.
I think they should hit it. I just think they won't
because without Shine, and because let's just assume they hit Shine and Gal, because they might hit both simply because Gal saw a lot of success training boost.
Do we even have any significance of not significant? Do you guys actually have the records of English regionals? Because I'm gonna be honest, I phased out for the last month and a half meta wise, so I don't even know what's topping decks and everything.
We just went through a Ultimate Cup format. I think it's like a month straight of Ultimate Cup, right?
Oh, dude, all I know from Ultimate Cup is that Purple has been doing well because I always see Testro topping a lot.
I think we literally just had a month straight of Ultimate Cup, and hasn't been regional for a while.
I will say too, Ultimate Cup, at least in my opinion, is not the way to go when thinking about what cards need to get hit, just because it's its own format, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The only thing is Ultimate Cup. Ultimate Cup is at least an indication of letting you know, if Bandai decide to hit this deck, this is what they might hit, because it's the card that they think is the problem card, right? But realistically, SR probably does not get hit, unless they drastically change the way they hit decks.
I would like them to start hitting SRs over just regular cards, because it would even make it just seems easier that way, you know.
I would like for them to hit to 0 instead of just banning.
Oh, that too,
1.
yeah. Banning cards over hitting them to 0. 100% agree. There's some cards I don't mind them getting hit to 1, but
into 1. Into 1. You want them to ban to 0 instead of hitting to 1, right? What do you say?
I'm most of the time, yeah. There's some cards I don't care. They're not as strong. The fact that they turn Blossomon and Argomon to 1. Personally, I don't care about those going into 1, right? But a card like HPD, I think that's like a way too sacky card to see as a 1 of. You know? That card I personally think should be banned.
You have now made enemies with all the green players.
Already know I have. Because earlier today, James, I said Bloom. I still think Bloom's cope for Nats, but that's just me. In fact, let's just look at the ban list right now. What cards do we want to see banned that are at 1? Let's see, Aimon for EX2. Ban or at 1? For you, James.
To be honest, it's fine at 1.
Yeah.
Because I think that card is a problem only when you hit multiple. I think hitting.
I think fundamentally.
For consistency's sake, you want to hit it to 0. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think at 1 is a problem.
No, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, like realistically, the card that's are a problem at 1 is Ice Wall and HPD. Those are the 2 cards that are consistently a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I know green player are gonna cry about how HPD is not a problem because you have other cost reduction in the game, and no, HPD is its own problem. Just because green isn't broken with HPD doesn't mean the card itself doesn't represent a problem. There are other stuff that you need to hit. I think Patamon should be taken out back and shot. Like there are, I think I think all these free cost reduction needs to be hit. Bandai should be a lot more aggressive with hitting all these free memory gain. In my opinion, just but yeah, like the Cool Boy needs to be hit. Like Cool Boy needs to be hit. So,
yep.
Like one of the big problem with X Antibody that consistently come up is because they can just all use Cool Boy, and Cool Boy just enable them to get all this memory gain. So that's another thing. Like you just, instead of like green being allowed to have HPD because there are other problems, no, you just hit all of them. We need a Scorched Earth ban list is what we need.
I agree. I would love it, but we're never going to get it, unfortunately. Sometimes I wish Bandai did that. Like, what was that one legendary Konami ban list for Yu-Gi-Oh? They killed or not killed, but like they nerfed like 4 or 5 decks in 1 year. Not 1 year, one
yeah,
day.
then they had a ban. Konami had like a really good ban list for format. I forgot what it was. Which format was it?
It was like in 2020. They hit Salamangreat, Sky Striker,
Thunder
Dragons.
That was crazy ban list.
That was a fun time.
Dude, I can't lie.
Yeah.
You guys have been talking about this entire time. I've been sitting here making a fucking Jellymon deck for EX5.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize it was Jellymon at first. I thought it was just like some Zudomon Gomamon deck or something.
I thought you were a Jellymon believer.
I am a Jellymon believer.
Alright, last card I was thinking about, like, does any EX5 deck other than Beelstar use Calling of Darkness?
Anubis
uses really well.
Alright, because I was just looking at some lists I couldn't find on here.
It's because you don't need it in Anubis, but you can play it in Anubis.
Okay.
You don't need it, but it's a really strong card to have because one of the ways that you can play Anubis is you just evolve it in raising. Because
wait, how would you hit Anubis? Because like
you hit Merva.
You hit Merva.
But that's an SR. That's an SR.
Assuming we don't hit it, fucking Ignite then. Hit Ignitemon.
Ignite.
Yeah.
Oh, because then that would only make it or call.
Then you have to Merva on top of Merva, and then you're wasting double Merva.
Okay, and then there's.
And then you also don't get the 1 memory off of Ignite.
Yeah.
So
then
actually costs 2.
It's a 2 cost.
So like you actually, like being able to keep your turns a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You also decrease the consistency in terms of like what rookies will actually retain their turn.
Yeah.
This Anubis list uses 4 training, 3 purple mem. That's 7 boosts.
You also remove a removal tool for them because
That's true.
Ignite's
also a removal. Yeah, that's a huge part of removal.
Yeah. But realistically, you should Ignite to like 1.
Alright. I cooked up a Jellymon list.
At that point, hitting Ignite to 1, that just brings up the same thing as before. It's gonna be a sacky one if your opponent sees it.
I want them to hit it to 0, but they don't hit stuff to 0. So realistically, what we should expect is Ignite to 1. If they're ever gonna hit Anubis, the way, and they could look, we have a new team, and they're
this new team has been failing. I'm not gonna lie, dude.
Well, no. Has the new team done a
No,
ban
they
list
haven't
yet?
done a ban list yet.
Right. So here's my.
We pray.
And I'm not.
We pray.
I'm not saying one way or another, but I'm just saying we haven't seen what their ban list philosophy is. They might keep to the way that the old team does. They might approach it in a different way. So, which is why I'm saying like we might not see a ban list for this format if they approach banning a different way.
Wait, no, that might be a lie. I think they did the word Garurumon Grandis hit.
Was it them?
I think it was them.
Okay.
Either
Well,
way.
Well, my point is that if they indeed have not done a ban list, then they may approach ban list in a different way, and then if they do, we can have that whole discussion, right? But we're assuming that they're consistent with how they've been banning stuff. Then Ignite to 1 is probably realistically what see get hit in Anubis.
So, if this new team goes by how I want them to, after seeing 8 different Anubis lists on this website of decks I've been topping, or not even just Anubis, like every deck I've seen on here so far, I really, again, I'm being petty. Maybe I'm being petty, but I don't know. I need them to hit training boost on every color.
They won't.
Every deck list I've been seeing. I know. Okay.
Training list is
But
such
every deck has been using it at 4, and I think that's a huge reason why decks are like really fast right now. They're super consistent and super fast to turbo into now. But
do I
again,
agree? No, I'm trying to think. Do I agree that
Okay.
training is a problem for the game?
I still think it is personally, but again, that's just me.
I don't know if I think training itself is a problem for the game.
Actually,
I think it might be training in combination of lack of tools to
hey,
deal with training. We need more cards that says no.
I'm just wondering if anyone in chat wants to chip in. Do you think training is a problem card in any color, not just one color, but every color, or not? I just want to know what other people think on this, like, because us three, we've talked about this many times. I know Alex is a firm believer of that it's not a problem card. I actually don't know if you're waning on it now or not, James. But yeah, and of course I'm on the side of I think it's a problematic card.
Wait, to be fair, I think training is like insanely overtuned. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, it's overtuned, right?
It was a mistake. They just won't hit it. They won't change it. They won't hit it. There needs to be another solution.
Wait. If you're saying it's overtuned, and it's like strong, right? So what is your reasoning why you say they will not hit it?
I don't have faith in Bandai to decide to hit it. I just
It's
genuinely don't.
It's such an important psycho card for decks that I don't see them hitting it.
All right, your reasoning is very acceptable, and I'm okay with that reason.
Yeah.
But
basically, until we see Bandai implement a good ban list, we don't.
I just don't have faith. I have no copium.
All right,
yeah, I think the way they managing ban lists have been pretty poor, and I don't have.
If you were able to create the ban list like today, all right, not Banda, would you hit the card? How about that?
I would literally burn the fucking card game. Like I would just shoot like half the format, dude.
Okay, so I think
is training.
I think you can leave training if you hit a bunch of other.
I was about to say you can leave training if you hit the shit that it searches.
Dude, what you just said is the Konami thing where like instead of hitting Halka-Fibrax, let's hit every tutor instead.
Hey man.
Well, here's the thing, right? Training itself does a lot of good for the game because it adds consistency to decks that doesn't have consistency. It's just overtuned in the sense that it's very cost efficient and it's helped that it's like the rich get richer, right? It's a card that helped the rich more than the poor. It also helped the poor, right? So it's like when you shoot training, you also hurt the decks that would use it, like the weaker decks that would use it really well.
At the same time, wouldn't it just be easier to kill that card because it makes more problems than solves, and then those decks that are poor?
Well, no, because then you just need to level the fucking playing field so that the gap between the poor and the rich isn't so fucking big, right? Because giving the poor consistency isn't the issue. It's that you're giving the rich the ability to find their bullshit. But if you take away the bullshit and everyone has the same fucking tools to work with, rock and rock, it's not an issue. IMO.
Yeah, right now you're playing rock versus rocket.
It's rock versus fucking gun, dude. Like
again, but if you but at the same time, what you're saying is, you can, instead of nerfing the strong stuff and you keep the training boost, right? You can kill the training boost and then make new cards. Like,
No,
it's
no,
like
no,
the whole
no,
thing
no,
of why
no, no,
like
no, no.
Suckamon is
Hold
good
up,
now,
hold up,
right?
hold up. Stop,
They
stop.
got like 10 supports.
Hang on. Or instead of having, because then you introduce the issue where like now you have to wait set after set to even the playing field.
Is that the same thing as waiting for a ban list?
No, it's not, because you wait for one ban list versus having to wait 3 sets. You know?
But a ban list is longer than 3 sets.
No. Okay. So you're saying like let's just take away training boosts, okay, right? Like that's what you want to do, right? Take away training boosts, right? I don't think training boost is inherently bad, because I think what it gives weaker decks is good, because those weaker decks, they don't have fucking consistency booster.
Honestly, if it was a 3 cost, I wouldn't even think about this.
Sure, yeah.
No, it should have been. It should have just been memory boost. It should have just been 3-2, but grab anything. Yeah.
It literally shouldn't have been 2 for 2. Like fuck that. But what I'm saying is like, in concept, training boost is fine. Because it help, I get like what it's supposed to do. It introduces consistency in Digimon. In Digimon, outside of like drawing X amount of cards because you digivolve so much, not every deck has consistency. There's a very like apparent gap for a lot of decks, right? Like if you ever played Etemon has consistency issues. If you play certain green decks, you have consistency issues. If you're not playing Bloom as a green deck, you have consistency issues, right? Giving decks an additional form of consistency is not inherently a bad thing. It's the fact that decks that have bullshit mechanics behind them now have extra ways to get to their bullshit is the issue, right? I think it's very different in the sense that like Konami hit like tuners and stuff like that to like instead of hitting Halki Fibrax, just because like that's not so much buffing an entire like archetype or like nerfing an entire archetype. It's just like you hit Jet Synchron and now you can't abuse Jet Synchron. Oh no, right?
But then the decks that used Jet Synchron before, like let's say the Junk Warrior decks, right? Then they got hit without.
I think the issue here, right, is the issue here is that Shine being able to do what it does with training boost, right? Like how many other.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to say, right? It can abuse it. It's like I don't know if they do it now, like because again I don't know shit about the deck. The black Agumon to black Orgrimmon, that stuff, right? Because it's all black and red.
Yeah.
They can also technically abuse it.
No, they can't. No, stop.
No,
They cannot. They cannot abuse it.
Not to the same degree.
No,
because
really?
Yeah,
because they have single mono colors, right?
Yeah.
I don't think. Okay, so I think outside of Shine, there isn't a single other deck in the game that is so ubiquitously dual color in most of the important cards, both color. I think every other, and this is even true if you play like any Garurumon deck, like a lot of cards are dual color, or like there's a decent amount of cards that's dual color, but a lot of the important cards are only one color. So you can like, for example, promo wear is a one of and it's blue, right? And then the new wear Garurumon is purple. And this is not true with Shine. With Shine,
everything is red and yellow.
Yeah, you play training boost, you can grab either. So that's the main issue.
Yeah.
So I think it's really just an unfortunate case of like they designed it to be like red and yellow, and it's like, oh, this is cool. But then they like I think we talked about this from way earlier.
Yeah,
on.
well, we're talking about one deck, right? But I'm talking about the other deck that's still used.
I think Digimon I'm like a firm believer that like training is fine conceptually. Like you can give decks training, you just can't give these decks like the tools to abuse with the training, because like if it's rock versus rock, that's fine. Nobody's gonna have an issue because then you're gonna find your cool combo. Like little Timmy's happy.
But my main issue with training, though, at the same time, it's something that Zonda said too. Like, it just feels punishing to even give your opponent one memory. Now, like when I give a Nubismon, I mean, again, this is a Nubismon, right? It's a really busted deck, but giving them one memory and them getting like to abuse their entire turn.
But how much easier is a Nubismon to deal with if they don't get a fucking Mervamon spawn 2 bodies?
And also, here's the thing: I think they just need to print more tools to deal with training.
Or those
we
tools
just
need
need
some sort of protection too, right? Like
we just need more. Like we just need more cards that just says no. We need more cards we need cards that says, oh, your opponent cannot activate delay. Why don't we have that floodgate? Why don't we have why don't we have a floodgate that says your opponent cannot activate delay?
So somebody
We need that card.
somebody in chat said hitting the broken stuff that training boost finds isn't hitting the tuners. It's hitting the end board enabled by those tuners. That's actually true. This is actually true. That's actually correct. He's not wrong.
Yeah, it's
hitting the broken stuff is fundamentally you're hitting the fucking Baron de Fleur, the fucking access codes.
Zana make a very good point. We need level 4 that says no. We need 4 cost like 5k. Like 4 cost 4-5 like 4 cost 4k or 4 cost 4-5k. That just says like your opponent cannot do X. Because then if you have like 2 memory, right? Like what if you have 2 or 3 memory, you can then slam that card and says your opponent can't do X. And then like that card isn't so easily removed. The issue with a lot of Floodgate now is that removing level 3 has becoming trivial. Because a lot of stuff just says minus 3k or delete level 3 just like for free. And I think you can make Floodgates better. We just need more tools against... We need better defensive tool. And better like Floodgates. Is all
Alright, hear me out. So here's an idea, right? So you know how like for this example we use Gazimon. He's a 3 cost 2k power with the cannot be memory blocker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if you make him 3 cost or 4 cost, 1k power, cannot block memory, but now he has an inheritable that also says, you know, you cannot gain memory. So basically having an inheritable on your stack, so now you can still build tall and have some mild amount of protection saying like, you know, because it's a ultimate or even a mega, it can't be as killed as easily as a rookie or a champion. Because honestly, even champions are way too easy to pop right now, if you ask me. But at least this way, it's now it's still a card that can be used part of your game plan that won't feel as big.
I think it's unironically too little of a drawback, if I'm being honest. I think that's like way too like little of a drawback because then you have like certain.
So the card's too power. So the card's too powerful. Right?
Yeah, because then you can you can integrate it into your stack way too easily, and while like cucking your opponent out.
It's still a decent. It seems like it's still a decent generic card that every deck can still access. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
As long as every color gets.
Hold up. So like let's say you play Anubis, right? You play Anubis, okay, and then you have this like hypothetical like inheritable floodgate effect, right? And then you just have Anubis board. You end on Anubis board. You do so 4 bodies, retaliation blocker, and you floodgate your opponent out, and your opponent can't pop it easily, right?
I should have been more clear. It's going to have like the Psychmon clause where it says all turns players cannot gain memory. So because Gazimon only says your opponent can, but now it's going to say both players can. So it's going to be still a double-edged sword floodgate.
But I don't think they care about that because at the end of the day they still got their board out, you know?
Yeah.
Like they still established first, so they get their they get their entire combo out, plus they lock you out. I think
I guess that's a good point. A good point being made in chat is making Floodgate too strong could also be a problem.
That is, that's also true.
I think Floodgates being like on rookies and like just like flat out being on rookies. You look at decks like Bloom, right, and you look at decks like Luga, and they struggle to pop Floodgates. Historically speaking, the only decks that actually pop Floodgates as easily as Breathing is usually like the deck that Bandai is like pushing and shoving down your fucking throat. You know, like it's Anubis. And even then, Anubis can't pop Pomu very easily.
No, Anubis actually does not have an easy time popping Floodgate.
No, Gazi it pops. Yeah. Gazi it pops very easily. And it pops Psych, but like at a cost, right? Pomu is hell. Like it's so hard to pop Pomu in that deck. Yeah.
I think every color should get a Pomu clone, and I think every color should get. I think we should get each Floodgate in every color.
Yeah, I think Floodgate should be in every color, and then I think
it's a crime that it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, no, for sure. But every color should have floodgates. I think keeping the floodgates on the 3s is fine.
What do you guys think about a 4-cost rookie that says player cannot reduce costs, not just play costs and.
I mean, what else are you like blocking? Like fucking Beelstar, like.
Yeah, like it reduced play costs and evolve.
Well, I mean, we already have a cup for Beelstar actually. Which Psychmon.
There's so many. There's a lot of cards.
The only thing we don't have a cup for is options, but like there's not enough options to justify it in the game right now. Because otherwise, your Psychmons and your Chicories and Solarmons, and then you. Like,
I mean, I think a rookie that says your opponent cannot activate delay is fine. If delay is going to be a part of
that's
your...
fine. That we get that. That's cool. Like I wouldn't mind that. That's fine. Because then there's like actual like you can't just like boost stack like that. That's fine. We get that.
Even a card that just simply says on play, board wipe every card that's delay would be really nice. Or just like, or cards that you like, you know how Leviamon, or I actually don't know if the new one kills a team or not.
No,
something to just say kill a something to kill a card, not like a Digimon.
I guess that's what the other issue with memory boost, right? Like we had this issue previously with Tamer, like
you can't
there wasn't
interact with
enough.
it.
Yeah, there wasn't enough interaction with Tamer, and now we have boost, which functioned like a one-time use Tamer.
Yeah.
Where you can't even interact with them at all. So a way to remove delay would be pretty neat.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we should have like a delay eater. Oh my god, what if eaters? We get fucking eaters from Cybersloot and they consume delays. That'd be sick. And children. They eat the tamers.
And children.
Yeah.
They're eating them. Now they're gonna eat me too.
Alright, anyway. It is almost 9. I'm gonna go take a shower and then we'll play Digimon or some shit. But I'm gonna end the stream right now. Good night, everyone. It's been over 2 hours. Enjoy the Huang Zero content. Yay!
Hey, yo, make a poll on your Twitter. Should training get hit? I'm actually curious now.
That's so much effort. All right, subscribe.
No, it's not.